Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the final race of the ROUSH Performance World Tour Series here at the track that has 170 turns, 16.1 miles. And I mean, this track will chew you up and spit you out. We saw it last night. The excitement is going to happen right now tonight, and you guys have made it to the very end of the series. So thank you so much for following along with us through these times. We appreciate each and every person. And as you guys get on the stream, make sure you hit that like button, hit the share button, tell your friends what's going on over here on the ROUSH Performance Esports page. And we're about to take on Nurburgring. And I can tell you one thing, guys, you have to be on your A game. You cannot lift your eyes. You can't have a different train of thought. You have to stay focused. And we saw that last night with the Sprint Series race. And Jordan Musser took home the hardware. He went home with huge prizes from our partners at Continental Tire and Haggerty. So excited for you, Jordan. We're going to see who's going to take that trophy home tonight and those big prizes. But before then, I want to introduce who is in the booth tonight, guys. Joining me in the booth tonight is Jack Roush Jr. and Jack Roush. And we're going to hear a little bit from Jack on what he thinks about this whole esports sim world. And also, Harold Darner will be taking up race control tonight. But before then, let's go hear from those beautiful ladies singing the national anthem from Phoenix Uncaged.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, and there they were. That was Lexi Jones and Kiana Ryan from Phoenix Uncaged. Man, to start off with the national anthem to any sport is an absolute must. If that doesn't make you want to run out, light some fireworks, rev up your Roush Mustang, I don't know what will. But also joining me in the booth tonight from Sports Car Unleashed podcast is Rich Hall and professional race car driver Owen Trinkler. Thank you guys for joining me in the booth tonight. As like I said, Jack Roush is joining us tonight, and Jack Roush Jr. And then, of course, on race control, we have the one and only Harold Darner. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for the final race of the ROUSH Performance World Tour Series. I mean, guys, look how far we've come. This is our, I believe, 21st stream since we started this whole event.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, Trevor, to kind of come along for the ride, and Rich and I have had a ball calling these races, and what a track to go for the last one. We saw a great race last night between the Pauls, and obviously he got the pole tonight, but it's going to be exciting here with the Endurance Series.
Absolutely. And we're seeing these guys logging in the time. There's the starting grid sponsored by Continental Tire. First off, guys, how does Paul Darling get even faster from last night? He was running 7:55s. This guy just shaved off, almost 2 seconds here. Come on.
Oh, I mean, he had all that practice, like, drubbing the field last night. So, he's only going to get better.
All right, Jack Jr., you took on this track last night, had a very solid finish. I mean, can you see how Paul is running these times here?
No, he's obviously got a lot of talent in the sims, and it's impressive.
No, absolutely. I mean, you have to be just about a robot to run that. That is extremely impressive. I mean, and he's running against track native Rob Holland. I mean, watching Rob get around this track is amazing. But then to see Paul jump out here, and then of course, as we've seen Jordan Musser wrap up his championship win last night, it's just impressive to see the level of drivers that we have here on our series, and we're extremely thankful for them to take the time. I know it's kind of been an oddball season for professional drivers, as just anyone. So thank you again for hanging out with us. And if you're just now tuning in, if you're on the ROUSH Performance channel, if you're on our Twitch channel, on the esports channel, make sure you hit that like button. Show us some love. Share it. Tell your friends what's going on over here on the ROUSH Performance Esports channel. And we're getting ready to go green flag in about 10 minutes. But let's talk about this starting grid so far. It looks like we have 6 drivers that have logged qualifying times so far. Looks like Paul Darling with a 7:53.9. Following Joey Atterbury. Joey will be joining us in the booth on the second half of this. He's going to put in that first stint. Then his co-driver Rob, I believe, will be taking it from there. So Joey will be joining us later. He ran a 7:59.2. Ted Lowenduck, there's Ted. He's always been a front runner within our series. He was with us since the very beginning. Jeff Altenberg, we've seen some really solid laps out of Jeff. With an 8:06.5, Steve Luca 8:08, and Chris Wolfson 8:20, and we still have a bunch of guys that are currently logging times that you're probably going to see pour in here. All right, Rich, you told me yesterday you rented a car and put down a 7-minute lap. Was that correct?
No, actually none of that. The only thing that was correct was that I was at the track and I did a lap. It was my personal car. I don't know what I was thinking.
He almost crashed like 7 times. That's what it was, Trevor.
What would you say the most technical part of the track was?
The Nordenshelf. Okay, I'll tell you. I will tell you this. That long straightaway, I got a reprieve. I was feeling good about things, but man, the entry coming off of that is sketchy.
Yeah, yeah, obviously not being there, but I've driven it obviously on iRacing, and we've seen the battle last night. It seems like a really rough track in certain corners, especially like these high angle turns, and looks like an old South Carolina back road over here.
Well, the thing is, when I originally went to the Nurburgring, I went first to see the GP races, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's at the GP course. It's FIA certified. Everything's nice and wide. And I was there back in '97, so this is before all the Sims had the games. And I didn't realize how narrow and how fast this place was going to be. They call it Green Hell for a reason, like I said last night. It's the between the blind corners, the off camber corners, the just the elevation change. I mean, even things like the carousel, you figure, it's just like a little bank. Even that is like tricky. You gotta
right,
hit it just right. And
yeah.
I didn't hit it right.
Yeah,
That's
you definitely.
One of the places where I almost went off.
Definitely. And yeah, you could see last night, and I'm guessing you're saying it's called Green Hell. I'm guessing that's because if you just slip even a little bit and touch that green stuff, your track day's over.
No, I mean it's really green all around you. It's like
okay.
a little band of black going through the Eiffel Mountains, and
man, who chose
really
these tracks? We went from Bathurst, also known as Bloodthirst, to Green Hell. I mean, we're making sure that these drivers know what they're doing here.
Well, I think it's a really fitting track. I mean, we have I was joking about the drubbing thing yesterday. We got a talented group of guys out there driving right now.
Absolutely.
And having driven this place just one lap in person, I just know that the concentration level these guys have to put in to keep it between the rumble strips and the green stuff is superhuman, man.
Absolutely. And Owen, what can you tell me about this track?
Well, not too much. I've been close to it. I was in Stuttgart a couple of years ago. A trip that we made over to Germany for some stuff that we won. And I wish we could have made it up to the Nordschleife. Really wanted to go there really bad, but One thing I can tell you just watching the race last night, that the guys, like kind of Rich said, you've got to keep your concentration up. You're racing the track. You're really not racing your competitors in this situation, because we saw some guys that cycled to the lead last night spun out on their own. And so you can just see how much concentration this place takes and how narrow it is to keep your Ford GT on the track here.
Absolutely.
One thing that Joey brought up yesterday too is the Nurburgring was built like back in the 30s, right? And I was not expecting the level of grip that this track has. It was kind of off-putting. I felt I had a little mini. It was a hopped up mini, and that thing it actually made it tougher, because when it went away, and I was usually going pretty fast.
Oh man.
No, that's a blast. Well, definitely, I think we have probably the most elite drivers out here. I mean, we're watching Matt Christie go out. I think I mentioned yesterday, he's going out and literally beating going into the world record, into like the top 10s and top 15s of iRacing tracks around the world. And it's so cool to watch him. He's like, oh, got another one. Oh, got another one. And to see him being a top 15 in the world fastest driver in iRacing at a lot of these tracks. And then he's coming and hanging out with us over here on our ROUSH Performance Esports channel. It's pretty neat to see that. And it's cool because Matt was a ROUSH owner, did a lot of track day, and decided to join us. So we're really glad to have him. And looks like we are wrapping up qualifying here. There was an extension of qualifying. I am not sure the reasoning of, but we're going to be about 8 minutes until we go live. And what we're actually going to do is show you a really neat video. This is a partnership that ROUSH Performance and 511 had come together and done. Jack, you can actually speak a little bit on it, and then we'll go and show them.
Oh, absolutely. We had the chance to do a neat video about a friend of mine, Chris Karachi, really amazing guy, veteran, ex-Navy SEAL. He's innovated aspects of law enforcement. And it just kind of celebrates his philosophy on life and how that ties into our brand.
Absolutely. And that's, Chris doesn't look like a guy that you want to mess with, but no, it looks like an awesome guy. And I'm going to show you guys here, a clip, that, the ROUSH team and 511 team was able to capture.
I'm Jack Roush Jr., and we're here today at the 511 store in Las Vegas. We're gearing up for a 3-day video shoot that we have coming up. We're shooting a commercial to feature our 2020 F-150 off-road truck. This thing is a monster, 650 horsepower. When you put your pedal to the metal, you will feel it with this truck. We're going out into the desert. It's going to be hot out there, tons of sand, and it's going to be a lot of work. We really need the gear to support us out there. And as you can see, there's a lot of that here. We're like kids in a toy shop. It's a pretty grueling environment out here, and 511 puts a lot of time into the development of the tech of their gear. This helps ensure we're safe as well as comfortable on set. Working 15+ hour days in 115-degree heat, every little advantage helps. Yeah, so come check out this video. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. A really cool story about my friend Chris Karachi, and a little bit about the truck too. I think you'll enjoy it.
These are unprecedented times, and they say it's better to have it and not need it than, well, you know the rest. name is Karachi, and I've spent my whole life in the service of others. For me, there's no greater honor than when I'm entrusted with the preservation of life. And in my world, here, there can be no compromise. The hard work begins long before the job ever starts. I train hard, so I fight easy. I never stop learning, evolving. This is the fabric of my life. Beyond training, the equipment I choose is critical to mission success. Whether weapon, engine, body, or mind, I require power on demand. That said, the burden of power must be balanced with discretion, necessary for the respect of life. The tools I trust are designed and engineered to function at peak performance. When life hangs in the balance, there can be no margin for error. My life has taken me all over the earth. Navigating the right path is never easy. As a great warrior Hannibal once said, if I don't know the way, I'll make the way. Hey, we can't always choose what life throws at us, but we can damn well choose how we'll go through it.
All right, and there it was, guys. I mean, if that doesn't give you chills, that video just, it's so powerful and so cool to relate so many different things that Roush correlates with 511 and Chris himself and the power behind the F-150, the Roush Performance F-150, 650 horsepower, guys. And you, right, listening, watching this stream, could drive that. Some of you probably do. Let's hear if you are a Roush Performance F-150 SC owner, any type of truck owner with Roush. Go ahead and comment in the section. Let us know what you have. Give us a big thumbs up, and we'll definitely give you a shout out, and we appreciate you guys. And if you are looking for a Roush F-150 SC, one of two things: you can find the nearest dealer near you. If you know one, head down there. Or if you don't, head over to roushperformance.com. You can click dealer locator and find a dealer near you and say, hey, maybe you just have an F-150 and you're looking to put that supercharger on there. You want 650 horsepower under that F-150. You can head over to Roush Performance. You can check out our parts, or you can find a dealer near you through that dealer locator, and we can get you hooked up with some performance parts and get it sounding right with cold air intake and some exhaust, so we can get you hooked up. All right, Jack Jr., what was it like shooting that video?
Oh, it was pretty epic. It was over 100 degrees out there, and Chris actually climbed that mountain. It seems kind of unbelievable, but he really did it. And the scary thing was, what we couldn't really show there is that it was really windy, and for him to stay up there as the drone was going around him was definitely very sketchy.
Wow.
I think there were gusts of, probably 50 miles an hour up there.
Yeah, that was one of like the first things that I'm like, do you get like helicopter dropped in there? But I remember you telling me the story of him climbing up there, and you really get to looking at that rock and seeing the size of it once you see him up there, as he just looks like a little ant. It's pretty impressive. But obviously, Chris serving in our military, and hats off to Chris and anyone that has served in our military. Thank you so much for what you do, and everyone at ROUSH Performance definitely is standing behind you, and we appreciate everything you guys do and the sacrifices that you and your family undertake. So thank you. With that being said, guys, we are getting ready to kick off the final race of the season. And I am so excited to see what goes down here. I mean, a lot of these guys got some practice yesterday with the Sprint Series. They're ready to lay it all out on the line here for those big prizes. Someone could be going home with Continental tires, a set of Continental tires, and also the R-Seat N1 Sim Racing chassis. If you guys don't know what that is, head over to rc.com, check out the N1. It is an awesome setup, and I think, Jack, actually you have a similar setup, or the one, correct?
Yeah, I have the RS1 seat. Yeah, it's a really great seat. It's funny, when we kicked off this iRacing stuff earlier this year, I had a computer from 2013. I had a steering wheel that was really tough to get any, real modulation with the pedals, and my steering wheel was one that I had to hold between my legs because I had nothing to mount it to. Man. It was time to get serious. So I did spend some money and got some really nice equipment, and that seat was one of the pieces.
That is great. Yeah, and having a quality seat and just structure really kind of gives you a lot better feel of the car in iRacing. I mean, I have a semi-okay setup, but as you can definitely tell when you start to pick up these like Fanatec devices and that R-Seat N1, it definitely makes the experience a lot better. But here you go, guys. Here is the starting grid. It looks like some people weren't even able to put down qualifying times because the track is that tough. So we're going to see Paul Darling taking that ROUSH Performance Supercharger Award. And if you guys are looking for 750 horsepower ROUSH Performance Supercharger, head over to ROUSHperformance.com. Shout out to you, Paul Darling, for taking the pole there. Followed by Joey Atterbury, 759.2. Jeff Altenberg took that third place spot. Ted Lowendick in fourth. Steve Luca in fifth. Chris Wolfson in sixth. Paul Slavonic, seventh. And eighth place, Austin Lawrence. All right, guys, here they are pulling off. As they crest the hill, there is nothing better looking than a bunch of Ford GTs cresting a hill.
You remember, Trevor, as you were talking about earlier, these guys, some of these things didn't put times down or not official times. Race control is very strict in iRacing. If you get an off or a 1-point incident point, it nullifies your qualification line.
Well, they need to keep it on that gray stuff. And look at that. That's a great shot, guys. Never tell me the odds. There, that's one of the Paul's car there, and we're getting ready to come down to the final straight as we're going to see the checkered. If you guys are just now tuning in, make sure you give that like button. Show us some love. Share this post. Tell everyone what's going on over here at the ROUSH Performance Esports channel. And we're getting ready to go green. All 170 turns, 6.1 miles, guys. We're looking at close to, as you see, 8-minute laps here. And here they are stacking up. Let's
getting
see.
ready for the green here coming.
Green. There it is, guys.
Sure, one thing's going to be interesting after this first lap is kind of the pit strategy that goes on that we saw last night. Talking to a few of the guys, even with the tire wear that they're getting, the Ford GT performs really well light on fuel. So it's going to be interesting how some of these guys set their cars up for the race.
Absolutely. And yeah, there's Paul Darling jumps out front there in the Novastar Ford GT. And that's going to be a fast duo right there. I mean, we're seeing it with Paul Darling, as we've seen, a 7:53. His fast time towards the end, as you were kind of speaking, once you lose that fuel load.
29 are Jokers and Clowns car turned around.
Uh-oh. Can we jump to the Harold cam, see what happened there when you get that pulled up there, Harold? But yeah, I mean, as you said, with that fuel load starts to dump towards the end of the race, they're getting faster. The fast time for Paul last night was 7:55, and he put out a qualifying time of 7:53. So I'm curious what he's going to do once that fuel load dumps. All right, well, we have, as I had mentioned earlier, we have Jack Roush in the booth with us tonight, as well as the crazy old bunch that you typically see. Jack, I'm sure this is a new sight to you. E-sports, sim racing. What do you think about all this?
Well, I think this is the year that was made for sim racing. If you look at all the problem we've got putting groups of people together, either on race teams or as fans and officials and things, just couldn't do it this year. And so there's been a time for computer power to come to the front and to provide the means of excitement and satisfy the competitive drives of drivers and other people that would like to be drivers if they had a chance.
Absolutely. And Jack Jr. When you showed this to your dad, I mean, did you get the reaction that you would think as far as like what showing him iRacing, and has he seen you race on this before?
You know, we haven't talked post race like we do, and you know, when I've raced in real life. In real life, he's pretty stringent about wanting post practice and post race reports.
Yeah.
He hasn't been, you know, as discerning with the iRacing stuff, but I can tell it's still pretty exciting to watch how this thing has grown.
This is the first time I've been in the booth. I've been dialed in by myself, watching sections of it that were interesting to me from afar, you know, from my couch. And to be able to listen to you guys as you put your thoughts together and prepare to do the broadcast is just amazing. I can't believe what professionals you guys are and what a nice job you do.
Oh, well, we appreciate that, Jack. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a team effort here. And as you can see, what it takes to kind of, you were able to kind of see behind the scenes. There's a lot of moving parts, which, as you know this, running a race team and to be successful, the communication and just put on a great show. And we definitely do our best. And we're glad that you're able to hang out with us tonight for a little bit and see the final race.
You've taken on the monster. This Nurburgring is a monster.
It absolutely is.
I was over there testing a Group A car back in the early 80s for a German team that I was helping. And the car would literally disappear in one direction, and you'd swear it seemed like forever. And then you'd hear it come into earshot from the opposite direction. And it was amazing that the car was under competition circumstances for that time frame and be out of your sight and for that matter, out of sound.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and that's something that you're not used to. You're used to at least them going around you and hearing them the whole time, at least seeing them most of the time.
Well, the race team that I was with, I'm not going to mention names so I don't embarrass anybody, but it was a German team, and I had sent them the radiator, the ignition box, the coil, the radiator, the headers, and everything they needed to bolt it into their Group A Mustang. And I asked them before I built there was no limit on compression. I asked them before I built the engine if they were going to use their turbo fuel that they use for the 4-cylinder turbo GT cars over there. And they assured me that they would. They went out and substituted some of my parts and put the pump gas in when they saw how stock the car looked. And they didn't, 3 times, I had 2 engines and enough parts to rebuild an engine. And they went around the racetrack, never made it around the racetrack 3 times. So when I went out there with the 4th engine, I said, boys, I'll come, but I said, it's my engine and I'm not going to sell it to you, but I am going to tell you how to run it. And so we got all the parts swapped out, and I was up all night for about 3 nights getting there in time to support it. And the car disappeared, and they didn't unload their toolboxes because 3 times they'd been there before, and the car never made it around. So they can run around once, and they still unload their toolboxes. When it went by the 2nd time, they said, boys, we're going to have to change some springs today.
Oh, man.
That's a great story.
That is.
Part I haven't told is a real interesting piece. I'll share that with you over dinner sometime.
All right, that sounds good.
That's a deal.
And I haven't heard that story yet either, by the way.
What else have we need to know more? Oh, and we have who just pulled off the track with a hard. That was Ted Lowendick. Harold, if you can see what happened there, it looks like he straight line braked and pushed straight out of that corner right into that guardrail there. if we can get a replay on that. Doesn't look like he has too much heavy damage here. Let's see if we can get a better shot here. There's that left front crunched up a little bit, and you know these cars don't do so well, especially on a track such as this with these long straights, but that'll definitely take Ted Lowendick off pace here. As we see Paul Darling here at the front, put a gap over 6 seconds already over second place driver Joey Atterbury, the Roush Performance Ford GT. Looking like Jeff Altenberg in the Amsource Motorsports Ford GT. And then following like Paul Slavonic in the DMG United Autosport. And then following up the top 5 is Steve Luca from Serpent Stangs Racing. All right, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but we will be back with you guys in just a moment. All right, and we are back to the live action as you guys just checked out that awesome clip from the one and only director, JP Roush. That is Jack Roush Jr.'s son. JP put together this clip. It was super cool. I don't know how much Jack was on his hands and knees doing the lighting, but I'm pretty sure JP was directing most of that. And it looked awesome. As you can see, it was a little stop motion clip there and highlighting, going through Nurburgring. You seen those corners, those tight hairpin, and of course at the end there, you saw the nice victory donuts of the Ford GT getting down. So we were curious who that is going to be tonight. All right, Junior, what involvement did you have? Were you sound guy on that? How did you come into that?
He just bounced some ideas off me, and he did that all himself.
That's talent.
Yeah, he's been really getting into doing these stop animations, and I thought, why not? Wouldn't it be cool if he did one for us? And he was totally into it.
Yeah, and he did a great job. So, as you guys know, we had mentioned we have a new series coming up here in January 2021, which will show you guys the clip. We're going to hold it out on you guys. Even though we talked about it yesterday on the Sprint Series race, we're going to hold off a little bit and show you the clip a little bit later on about what is coming to the ROUSH Performance Esports page. You do not want to miss out. I promise you don't. It is super exciting. It's going to be some jam-packed action. But before then, we are checking out the leader, Paul Darling, as he keeps extending that gap. He says, guys, I am going to take this and run with it. 8.5 seconds on second place car, Joey Atterbury.
Trevor, I was able to get that in-car of Ted Lowendick to see what happens when you just take a brief momentarily mental distraction.
Well, let's check out that. We're going to the Herald Cam to see the earlier incident of Ted Lowendick. Oh, Owen Schrinkler, what would you say happened there? Let's go ahead and run that back there. Owen, are you able to see this screen here? I'm not sure if we got Owen. We'll go to Jack Roush Jr. Jack, what happened here?
Man, this track is so sketchy, and I think it's tougher than the real life because you can't feel in the seat, in your rear end,
Right.
what the car is doing. You don't have that sense of momentum. And I think he probably just went in a tiny bit too hot, and there's no way he really could have saved it.
That's a tough break there. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So Jack Senior, what do you think of all this? You're able to see a couple minutes of it. You're able to see the different things. First off, I have to ask you, does it look pretty real?
It looks amazingly real, and it's incredible that you got the cameras all coordinated so you can go inside the car from time to time and suit your purpose. You can go outside, position yourself on the racetrack correctly. Do you have a GPS you work from, or what navigation? How do you locate yourself on the racetrack?
Yes, there's a lot of software that helps us out, and it's just like orchestrating a NASCAR event. Essentially, it's just we're a micro unit here, trying to throw it all together. But there's a lot of good software that helps us keep track of these guys. But overall, you've seen a couple laps here. Do you feel that iRacing has brought a different aspect to racing as far as maybe an advantage, having drivers be able to train on a track before actually going there?
Well, Jack Jr. Pointed to the thing that I was impressed by at first. I cannot imagine trying to position or understand where you need to be on the racetrack, the amount of speed you had entering the corner, and how much throttle you could stand, and how much brake was too much. So he went right where I thought he would go. He said, well, it just takes lots of practice. The people that are really at the top of the game are the ones that have got the time to spend hours and hours and hours at the racetracks so that they can see what the numbers are that you can achieve, and not necessarily what it feels like in your body.
Absolutely. And Jack, Junior, why don't you talk to that? What tracks have you haven't been to previously in real life, and you utilize iRacing as a tool? Was there a track that has happened at?
Oh, absolutely. I got into iRacing not for racing, but just for learning tracks in 2006. And I did that because at that time I grew up road racing go-karts, but I'd never been professionally racing sports cars. And all of a sudden I got in the Granddad Cup Series, racing against some of the best road racers in the world. Needless to say, it was an extremely steep learning curve, and they were tracks I'd never been to, obviously. So I hopped on iRacing and, got to work and try to, get a sense for all the tracks I was going to.
Right.
I think that probably the most dramatic example of that was Long Beach. Had to be 2014. Never been there. It's also a street circuit, so if you go off, there is no off. Going off means you're in a cement wall. And I spent a lot of time in the simulator, just trying to learn the track. And we got to California, got the car out, a few practices, and I was able to put it on the pole. There's no way I would have been able to do that without the sim.
Right. And Owen, I'm sure you can probably talk to that too. Have you used iRacing as a tool as well?
Yeah, I probably did like Jack did early on when iRacing first, just arrived on the scene. I used it quite a bit. I guess at that point, I could date myself. I'd traveled to a bunch of the tracks before iRacing had really come out. But to that example, like a street course like Long Beach, where Jack was going to, you can't practice there. You can't go there before the event, the nature of that track. And so it's great to have the sim time just to learn the place and get the visual cues. That's the biggest thing. You're not going to get the seat of the pants kind of feel that you want in the car, but you just get the visual cues of the track, and that definitely helps out. Unfortunately, I haven't kept up with the equipment as we've been through this pandemic, and I've just joined you in the booth and made some practice laps because my equipment is definitely outdated and it shows. So, but I still had a lot of fun during this whole tour and during the previous tour that we were doing, the championship, just to get out there and practice with the guys. But these guys are, excellent drivers. and the setups and the time that they put in. Like Jack was talking about, some of these guys are practicing all week for these races.
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing that we've seen on our end, obviously hosting practices. And then even now I follow a lot of these guys on Facebook, and you're seeing them put in, I mean, I'll be wrapping up something, getting ready to go to bed, and these guys are just now jumping into an hour session at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, they're getting their job done, and then they're going to this. It's like a whole nother job. And I was able to watch Joey Atterbury, a lot of these times go in and start to tune and fix these cars, and it's absolutely amazing to see him just do these little tweaks and get a second faster, going back in, tweaking, getting a second faster. And it's amazing to see. He's like, oh yeah, this is what we do in actual racing, and he's able to take that from the track and do it here. So I'd be interested, Jack Roush Sr., I'm going to get you on my team. I need some help, because me and NASCAR, I'm pretty slow around the circle track, so I might need you on my team tuning my car.
That runs hot and cold for me. There was a point in time when I think I've got the advantage, and I understand more about the rule book than my contemporaries do. And that's short-lived, and the next thing I know, they've changed the rules, and my trick or my thing that I had that was my advantage doesn't work anymore. So you got to put yourself in time with the way the cars are being officiated, as well as what the manufacturers are doing. And depending on how that works out, you're either competitive or you're not.
Absolutely. Well,
Trevor, I got a question for Jack Sr. real quick. I'm just seeing some stuff about it, and it's coming on scene in not 21, but Senior in 2022 is the next gen car, and it seems like a lot of sports car technology is coming over into NASCAR in this next gen car. I mean, how do you feel about that? How the team's taking that on?
Well, technology has really taken the thing to the poorhouse. You know, the cost of all the computer applications and the tools that you need to organize your chassis and to predict what's going to happen, and then even to condition the driver for the things he can do. The cost of all that has just been astronomical. You add to that the fact that every part on the car has been subject to revision and to redesign that would give a team that got on the right thing first the advantage. But with the 2022 car, the cars will all be the same. You won't be developing kinematics. You won't be developing aerodynamics. And you won't have those people out spending money. So we're trying to get the genie back in the box and get ourselves in a situation where you can afford to put one of these cars on the racetrack, and with what the money it earns from the marketing rights and from the prize money that's distributed.
Yeah, and I saw, a couple of things. It's got a center lock, wheel nut on it, paddle shift, I think. And so it seems like the drivers are super excited about some of that coming to the series, and the technology and the exhaust. I think it's going to, sound more like a Trans Am car, it seems like.
Yeah, it's going to put the racing back in the hands of the drivers and the crew chief making their decisions when to pit, and not to be in the hands of the minds of the engineers who contrive things to spend money and to make their car, some components a little better than everybody else. So it's going to standardize the car and stop you from wasting money by spending, developing things, racing with things that don't add to the quality of the excitement package that the fans see either live or on television and on the web.
Well, if it's going back into the hands of driver and crew chief with Jimmy Fennig getting back in there, I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen for Roush Fenway.
Well, there's the blend between art and science, and as soon as you get some new science that has a prospect of being better, you're obliged to put it in the racetrack, in the race car, either out of ignorance as an owner or as a mechanic that's not endowed with all the tools, computer tools that the young engineers have, and to put it back in Jimmy Finnig's hands and somebody who's been the keeper of the art, so that he could say yes to this and no to that and be right 51% of the time is something I look forward to.
Oh, and I'm sure every Roush fan out there does as well, Jack. And just want to say thank you so much for coming out here and hanging out with us here on the ROUSH Performance Esports channel. I know this is new territory for you, but we just want to say thank you so much.
This has been a lot of fun, but it has given me pause here. We've got a collection of cars that in the Roush collection that includes the GT number 15, and it's not been on a racetrack yet. But I made possibly the mistake of telling Jack and his son that car was going to be theirs when I was no longer in a position to be its protector. And I pity, or I question what his future is going to be in real life.
So Jack, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with this car? What's the first track you're going to? Awesome. Well, then again, thank you so much, Jack, and I'm sure everyone give Jack Roush a big thumbs up, guys, if you're watching here on our ROUSH Performance Esports channel. Again, thank you so much, Jack, for hanging out with us. And guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, if you guys would please like, share this post, tell your friends what's going on over here, because it is action-packed. Our leader, Paul Darling, is hanging it out there. We got Joey Atterbury and Paul Slavonic. Man, these guys are staying pretty tight, getting some really good battles for you. But we're going to jump to a quick commercial break and be right back.
The cat out of the
All
bag.
right, and we are back to the action, and we just kind of threw it out there for you guys. I don't know if you were able to catch that, but that is our new series that is coming January 2021. Those are the Pro 4 off-road trucks, and let me just tell you, I did some testing with those and had an absolute blast. I mean, I have a lot of fun on iRacing, and it adds a really cool element to be able to kind of jump into a virtual car and do crazy speeds around the track, bump and grind with your friends. But when you get out on the track in a Pro 4 truck, it is absolutely amazing. And actually, we're watching some action here as Paul Slavonic overtakes Joey Atterbury there in the straight. As we've been saying, these guys have been battling. But I can tell you that battle would have happened a little bit different if we were in Pro 4 trucks, because those things are so wide, and to get around, you just happen to clip the guy's door or his fender, or you push him into the corner, or you jump over him. There's a lot of options that you can do in these trucks, and I'm really excited to see
Trevor,
us.
I have to add.
Yeah.
So how much time did you spend in the air while you guys were doing that?
Majority of the time, it was either me just pushing Joey through the turns. We jumped over a couple times each other. I was on my hood or on my roof a bunch. Old Joey assisted on a few of those. But other than that, I mean, just the action pack, just the action that you feel inside the truck. And then we were able to okay, let's play it back and see what it looks like. And we just had these huge grins on our face, like, this is it. This is what we need to go to. So coming January 2021, it is open to the public. You can sign up on our Motorsport Reg sign up sheet that we have dedicated just for that. So you'll see that on our ROUSH Performance Esports page, and you're going to see a bunch of more promotion come out on that. But we want you, if you are sitting at home and you're thinking about getting into iRacing, or you're like, hey, I want to race with the pros, I want to jump a truck, you can. All you have to do is head over to our ROUSH Performance Esports page, fill out that Motor Reg account, pick up a computer, your wheel, whatever you need. And if you have questions for us, we can get you hooked up with the guys that are setting these things up. And I'm really excited to kind of kick this off. There's going to be some new partners joining us. You may have seen it closely on the clip there. We're going to be really excited to kind of announce that. Of course, Continental and General Tire. We're going to see a bunch from General Tire in this off-road. Those crazy capable tires on the Pro 4 trucks. But I'm excited to kind of bring that. They're going to be real. So we're going to do 3 races. Open to the public. We're gonna have pro drivers, and they're gonna be like quick 30-minute sprint races. So it's not you can sit down and kind of hang out on the couch 30 minutes and catch an entire race. So it's gonna be crazy action packed, and we cannot wait to put on that show for you guys.
And these cars, you know, the liveries, if you're wanting to join us, it'd be really good to get out there and start painting the cars. We'll be spending a lot of time, like Trevor, you and I last night.
Yeah.
Just throwing our Roush Raptors together.
That's right. It was pretty neat to watch. We had some help from one of Harold's friends, Andy. He was jumping on Photoshop and he's pulling the ROUSH grill and our fender vents on the new ROUSH Ranger, the ROUSH Raptor, rear taillights, the rear graphic. So we were turning that thing into the ROUSH Raptor, which was really, really cool. All right, guys, let's see here. We are going to have a special guest with us. Let's see here. Yep. I see them. They're in the transfer room getting ready to come over to the live booth. So you guys know them as the ones that really kick off these events. This is Lexi Jones and Kiana Ryan from Phoenix Uncaged. And they are the ones that are singing the national anthem, so we're going to hear a little bit from them, and I think we got them both in the booth. We got Kiana Ryan, Lexi Jones. How's it going, girls?
Hi, doing great. How are you?
Good. You know, I don't know if you heard this morning, I absolutely, there's one thing about the national anthem that just gives me chills, but you guys just turn it up a notch.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about Phoenix Uncaged.
So, I'm Lexi. That's Kiana. Basically, we met through a mutual party, Jonty Meek from Death by Lipsticks Productions, and we both have solo projects, on our own. And then we basically were like, hey, why don't we work together and write some songs and just kind of see where it leads. And here we are, basically.
We hit it off and kept writing, and
Yeah.
so here we are.
That is great. So when did you guys start singing?
Probably 3 or 4 years ago.
All right, so Lexi 3 or 4 years ago. Kiana?
Oh man, probably about 10 years ago.
Okay. So where did you figure out that you had it? Because I'm kind of in this weird position where I think I have it. No, I'm just kidding. It's only in the shower. I start singing. No, completely kidding.
On the heart.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
yeah.
at what point did you were like, I want to do this?
Well, for me, I was in high school, and I was really shy, and music helped me kind of come out of my shell a little bit and be who I wanted to be, I guess. It pushed me. I loved it, so it pushed me.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, it's kind of maybe it was an opening experience to kind of give confidence and to keep moving. That's great. And Lexi?
I think because I started going to college for film, actually. I was trying to get a degree in film as like a backup kind of plan.
Yeah.
In case music didn't work out. And then while I was doing all the classes, I was like, I really just want to do music. I was like, I just can't do anything else besides music. It's not right now, great financially or, in the long run, but it's like, it's what I want to do and I have to do it.
All right. So so you guys met as you kind of mentioned. So when did Phoenix Uncaged start?
I don't know, what about 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. 3 years.
So how many songs do you guys have out now that we can? And as I'm looking back in the notes, you guys are on iTunes, like pretty much any music streaming platform, correct?
Yeah. Mhm.
And everyone just needs to search Phoenix Uncaged.
Yeah, if you search Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we have it all.
Awesome.
We're under
We
Phoenix
also have a
Uncaged.
We have a .com also, Phoenix Uncaged.
Yeah.
PhoenixUncaged.com.
Yeah, I think we have about 2 or 3 songs out. So they're all, all of our social media platforms.
That is
We do have
great.
many more that soon to be.
Say that one more time.
We have many more that are soon to be released.
Awesome.
Coming year.
Awesome. So what's the newest single that we need to listen to? What's a must? Okay, so if I can only listen to one of your songs, where are you sending me to?
There's so many good
All
ones.
of them. That's what you're supposed to say, right? And just you listen to the whole entire album.
Right.
That is great. Well, guys, go give these girls some love. Where do we follow you on? Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook at Phoenix Uncaged, also phoenixuncaged.com, and we are Kiana Ryan and Lexi Jones.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to hopefully continue to get you guys to sing for us as our series move forward, because we're going to the truck series. So it's going to be a little dirty out there when you're singing. You're going to get some dust in your lungs, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope that you guys come back. Again, thank you guys so much for doing that. That's a huge, personally, that's probably one of my favorite parts about motorsports, is just getting that national anthem in there. It gets the blood flowing really cool. So you guys really set the bar, and we appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you
so much for having us, and we're honored to be here.
Awesome.
We're so honored.
Thanks, Kiana. Thanks, Lexi.
Thank you.
All right. And here we are back to the action. Let's check in with our leader, Paul Darling. Let's pull up this gap here.
Still the Paul and Paul show again tonight.
The Paul and Paul show is right.
Yeah, first and second.
Paul started and he didn't put a post time, so he's actually had to work his way through the field.
No, he has, Harold. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so he's come up from the 9th or 10th starting spot to drive up to second place, and
so
he
yeah,
can get done tonight.
Let's see here. Paul Slavonic, best lap, as you guys can see there at the bottom, is 7:59.9. And let's head over to Darling. Paul Darling with a 7:55.2. So that is crazy. I mean, trying to make up almost 4 seconds here. Where do you do it?
Well,
you just hang on.
You got to keep it clean, because we noticed yesterday with the person that crashed early in the first lap, it took him 8 minutes to get a tow and fix the car. That would wipe out any lead that you would have.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, at that point, it's absolutely anyone's race.
Yeah, and you got to think, Paul Slavonic has had to come through traffic, too. So now he's finally got some clean air, into second. He's got obviously a gap to Paul Darling, but let's see what kind of times he can run, now at this point.
Right. All right, guys, look at that. We are on lap 5 of 23. It's crazy to think, oh, hey, there's only 23 laps, but we still have 2 hours and 25 minutes of racing of door-to-door action. We are going to go to a quick break here, but we're going to keep the action rolling, and we will come back here in about 5 minutes. So we'll see you guys here in just a moment. All right, guys, we are back to the action here as we are riding on that right side of the ROUSH Performance 4 GT of Joey Atterbury as we are, looks like about possibly midway on lap 6 of 23, 2 hours, 13 minutes remaining, and a lot of turns. I mean, if we're at 170 turns per lap times, I'm not good at math, and I'm not even going to try it. So...
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. That's what I could say. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think Joey's going to school here a little bit. He's not letting Paul pull away from him too much. He ran him down and passed him, but he hasn't really just left him yet.
No, yeah, he's absolutely hanging on, and that is extremely impressive because watching these Pauls run together yesterday, they know this track extremely well. And I'm going to be honest with you, Joey has probably one of the best co-drivers you can have on this track. I mean, Rob Holland has over, I believe he said he completed over 3,000 actual real life laps on this track. That's a huge advantage.
Oh, living there helps too. Like,
that's true. I'm pretty sure he lives just to the left, like somewhere over here. Yeah, it was pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys can actually rewatch it on our ROUSH Performance esports channel. It's riding along with Rob Holland around the track, and it's pretty neat. He knows every corner, knows every little inch of this track. He's talking about bars all around it. Oh, hey, there's a person that's so and so, and I mean, it was pretty cool. So if you guys want to ride along with Rob and really see what it feels like inside the car of one of these 4 GTs getting around this track, it's extremely impressive. And to just know that Rob has that type of experience at this track, and it was pretty cool experience.
No, just think about that for a second, guys. If you're a car person, you're a motorsports enthusiast, you have some breakfast, you figure, I'm gonna go out on the deck and just take in the sights, and you go out there and green hell is like right in your backyard. That's just
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some guys lead the life, don't they?
Jeez. Well, so far the best of me, it's going to be right here in my computer chair, streaming on iRacing.
And I'll be right there with you from my chair.
All right. Well, speaking of Rob Holland, I think we're going to see Rob run out of here and swapping positions with Joey Atterbury, possibly this early on in the race. 7 laps completed for that ROUSH Performance 4 GT. And there is the swap from Paul to Matt Christie, as the Grid Life iRacers 4 GT takes back on the track going into one of 170 turns. There it is. Counting down. We can count each one if we... Hey, Rich, can you go and name each one?
9.
There you go.
There you go.
Is that the number or is that no?
Right.
That is a negatory.
Yeah. It was funny because I was looking at the track map and I'm like, here, I'm going to try to really just learn about this track so I can really spit facts to you guys. And I was like, I can't pronounce the first corner. I can't pronounce the second corner. And at that point, I'm like, I just need to figure out just how to say the name of this track. I've always butchered it. But now Joey actually, so if you have my problem butchering this name, this is how Joey Atterbury put it. Say Burger King, then say Nurburgring.
See, now you're going to mess it up, that you...
See, now you're in my head now. Now I'm going to say it wrong.
Now you guys are going to say it wrong. I hope so.
I just call it the Nordschleifer.
Kind of goes back into Trevor. Trevor's always had an issue with these track names. I mean, first we started off with Le Mans, and he's got it all lemoned and all kinds of other things.
Well, yeah, what was I calling it? Le Mans? No. What was I calling it?
I think we need to make this a segment in Sports Car Unleashed.
We really do.
Yeah, is Le Mans, isn't that close to Lehman's?
Lehman. Yeah, he's going Lehman. Yeah, Lehman.
I like my lemons on my fish.
Man, JP, you come in roasting me over here. Man, it's okay. That's all right. Well, hey, JP, wow. First off, welcome to the booth. I'm glad you're here. Second off, dude, you're going to be a director. Like, you are so talented. I've watched that stop motion probably 100 times. Honestly, I've showed my kids. I'm like, you need to make this. Like, this is really cool. But JP, tell me where the thought process happened. Like when you were like, hey, I'm going to do this. and walk us through how you did it all. It was really neat, and I think just about everyone in the booth has seen it, as well as a lot of our viewers.
Well, so basically, how I did that stop motion was basically I built this like plastic track in my dad's office.
Yeah.
In our house.
Here, I'm gonna pull it up for you, JP.
And I basically put my my book, and I basically did drawing on it, and I basically animated the drawing, and like then I brought out these Matchbox cars of the 4GT, and I basically put these 2017 4GTs on my plastic track.
Yeah.
And I just ran them right next to each other. And
can you see the screen right now, JP?
And for like burnouts and stuff like that, yeah, I can see it.
Okay, sweet.
For like burnouts, I used cotton balls, and I thought it was really cool how I did it. And
it was
credit
neat.
to my dad for making the ideas for the stop motion. The stop motion wouldn't really be possible without him sort of making the ideas for what would happen in it. So
Well, that was your idea with the cotton balls, Trevor.
yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna give it to you, Jack. I was gonna be like, hey, it's cool, it's cool. No.
For sequencing and music, for the sequencing, I will give credit to my dad. For the animating, I did the animating, and Trevor did the music, and he also made the idea for the cotton balls.
Whoop whoop, JP. That's what I'm talking
So
about.
it was
So JP, when do you go
a team of all three of us.
Awesome. I'll take it.
Trevor, I think I found our guest.
You did?
Yeah,
we got
apparently you
Marco.
did. I'm
Are
here.
you in?
Yes.
Marco from Continental Tire. What is going on?
Oh, it's good. I had some difficulties joining the app because of our computers at work. They don't let us download anything, but I made it through the phone, so I'm here.
Well, we're definitely glad you're here. We have, so Marco, to just quickly kind of do a roundtable here and introduce you who's in the booth right now. We are live here. We're actually kind of following along Matt Christie as he's our current leader in the 4GT running on those Continental tires. But in the booth right now, we have Harold Darner taking up race control, Jack Roush Jr. And his son, JP Roush. We have Owen Schrinkler, professional race car driver, and Rich Hall from Sports Car Unleashed podcast hanging out with all of us right now. This is pretty much the same old ugly group that they've seen since the very beginning, but we are really glad to have you in here, which I think he might have just made an exit. Rich, what'd you do to him? Yeah, as soon as I said your name, he went,
I did nothing, man. I just want to tell how much I love his all-weather high-performance tires, man.
You were getting ready to throw compliments, and he said, nope, see you later, goodbye.
I know, I was too. I mean, I won a championship on those tires.
Let's see.
And another guy left.
And what?
Trevor, what are you doing to everybody tonight?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Harold said, see you later, goodbye. I don't know. I don't know what I said wrong.
I think this bodes well for the drivers. Maybe the jinx has gone to the guests instead of the drivers.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I'd much rather that wait on us, as you're going to hear me talk, and all of a sudden it's just going to cut out. It's going to be like, oh, we lost Trevor. Oh, man. Well, okay, hey guys, it looks like Harold and Marco are in the transfer room. We'll get them over here shortly. Looks like Harold and Marco's back. You guys are back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. All right, Marco, well, we're going to show a quick clip of actually the Continental Tire Testing Center in Uvalde, Texas. I'm sure you know much of that place, but the entire ROUSH Performance team went out there and were able to test not only our Extreme Contact Sport tires, but our new Extreme Contact DRs for our ROUSH Jack Roush Edition, Special Edition. And you need a really great tire to handle 775 horsepower, and you guys definitely served it up for us and made our cars completely capable, which we'll talk a little bit more, but we're going to show this quick clip, and we'll come right back and talk to you a little bit about our partnership with Continental Tire.
Luke here from ROUSH Performance. We're at the Continental Proving Grounds in Uvalde, Texas, doing a little development testing for our 2020 Mustang. Stick around and see what we got planned.
Here at Continental Tire's Proving Grounds with ROUSH, so that we can go through and get some testing done and to prove out their vehicles, prove out our tires at the same time.
And some of the testing we've done today, we've done some lateral G testing, we've done some cornering work, some wet braking, and then some road handling for the tires as well. So all that goes into the overall finished ROUSH Mustang that we try to deliver to our customers, so that you've got a vehicle that you can drive year-round in any type of weather. The Continental Extreme Contact Sport tire has been hands down one of the biggest improvements that we've been able to add to the vehicle chassis. I think overall the customer will be really happy with their Mustang when they've got these tires on their car.
Anybody in the market can buy the same tires, put it on their vehicle, and increase their performance.
The customer will be able to take their everyday street tire and go right to the racetrack. And this is kind of what we were looking for when we partnered with Continental on the tire for the Mustang.
We chose Roush because of their name, and their name means performance. Continental Tire means performance, and we're trying to connect the two brands and make 1 and 1 equal 4. We're going after the best performance out there.
We just wanted that ultimate tire, and just an obvious blend between racing and street that we want to provide for our customers with our Mustang products.
All right, and back to the action there. As you've seen, both teams collide there in Uvalde, Texas. Wow, Marco, and I'm sure you know a lot about that place, but that place was absolutely amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Uvalde, Texas is our proving ground. It's over 10,000 acres, and we call it also our playground because we get to develop any test track that you can imagine. We recently came up with our newest off-road test tracks in Uvalde. We developed 3, and we are developing the 4th one right now that I believe you're gonna use with your F-150s. But related to the Mustang, we have something that we call a mini Nurburgring actually, because we have some slopes in the track to get different angles and curves with a change on your center of gravity, just like you feel in Nurburgring. And
Right.
That's how we test our tires there. We also have wet ovals. You can test anything you can imagine in tires. And ROUSH has been there several times. And that's how we develop our partnership, by testing cars in our tracks and see what works best for them.
No, and that's exactly the best way to explain it, is playground. I mean, we got there, we had our ROUSH F-150, we had our Stage 3 Mustang, and the coolest part for me was actually the pebble track that you guys had for the tire testing on the truck side. So we took the General Tire out there and we're ripping around that track, and what a blast that was. I mean, just throwing big roosts, getting the thing sideways, really checking out the capability of our ROUSH F-150 truck paired with the General Tire. And it was only making more sense as the day went on. It's like, well, no duh. This is why we partnered with these guys. Like the tire was absolutely amazing. And to see the professional drivers take our Stage 3 to the track was really, really cool. And I know Joey, I don't know if Joey joined us back in the booth. Is Joey in here? Not quite yet, but Joey had actually worked with testing the tire, the new Extreme Contact Sport. I believe, is it the DR tire for the Jack Roush Edition?
There's 2 different tires. So the Jack Roush Edition comes with the Extreme Contact Sport, which is our sprint tire. And then in addition to that package, they come with Extreme Contact DR, which is dry racing for when you want to take it to the track. Jack can explain more about it. He's on the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
How it works.
Jack, you want to explain a little bit on how that Jack Pack track box, say that 10 times fast?
Oh, so the idea behind those tires was really to do something that I've never seen anyone do, which is to offer a real road racing slick, not even a track tire, but a full racing slick as part of a vehicle package. And the performance metrics that those tires achieve are pretty impressive. Conservatively, we've found on the skid pad it could hold 1.14 Gs. That's pretty rarefied air. Not many cars can do that, and you're going to pay a multiple of, the JRE is not a cheap car, but to get those kinds of numbers, and anything else is, you're talking supercar territory.
Absolutely, and I think I'm trying to think, Jack, were we both there the same day that we were going around the that test track where we were trying to figure out the G-forces? I'm not sure. I keep forgetting. I don't know who was driving it, but yeah, it was extremely. I believe it was. We were both there, but I was actually running drone footage at the time, and I'm sitting here watching the car go, and I'm like, "There's no way it's gonna be able to hang on here." Like, it doesn't make sense seeing it, and it's like, there's no way that car is gonna keep turning like that. And at the speeds, as you progressively get the speeds faster and faster, and to see what it performs at is absolutely amazing. And you're absolutely right to see that number. That's supercar territory of one of the most world-renowned vehicles in the world that cost $500,000. So to be able to compete with that, of something that you guys can pull off a showroom floor and go straight to the track with, which is pretty cool, and it pretty much just tells the story of ROUSH, of always moving forward and putting out really, really great products.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, another thing about the Ford GT is that I've heard about like a Mark II Ford GT, which is more than $1 million.
Oh yeah, that's big money there.
It's a track car.
Absolutely. Well, Marco, and right now, actually, I'm going to pull up here on the screen. Let's see here. Well, there it is, guys. So this currently right now, Continental Tire can give you a $70 Visa prepaid card, and all you have to do is purchase 4 qualifying passenger Continental tires. So it's going on now through November 30th, and all you have to do is head over to continentaltire.com/promotion and see what vehicle you have, and you can see what tires are right fitted for you. I just recently went with the Continental Tire DWS 06s and absolutely love them, and it's pretty cool because it's actually my wife's car. I put the tires on there, and she knew a noticeably difference. So it's pretty cool to see someone that's not a big car person jump in and be like, wow, the whole comfort, the whole ride changed just because of a set of tires. So a quality set of tire underneath you for safety and comfort is extremely important to me. So if that's important to you, head over to continentaltire.com/promotions, get that $70 Visa prepaid card, and you can take Marco to lunch. Done, right?
Thank you.
Perfect.
And just to clarify that, they can buy from any dealer that qualifies.
Okay.
Then they go to our website and they can claim their gift card.
Okay, perfect.
We purchase for any dealer that has a promotion, you can see it on their webpage, then you can get from them.
There you go. Yep, head over to their page, find a dealer near you, pick up a set of tires, and off to the races you go. So, Marco, thank you so much for jumping in the booth with us tonight, and we appreciate your time, and we really appreciate your partnership, and to everyone at Continental Tire for partnering with us through these tough times. We've really got together as a team and put on a really great show, and it really couldn't have happened without you guys, so thank you.
Tony said one time, ROUSH is known as a performance manufacturer, and we identify ourselves with performance manufacturers, and we really appreciate the partnership that we have, and I hope to have it forever if possible.
I don't see it going anywhere. Absolutely.
Thank you for having me here, and I will see you soon.
Awesome. Right. Thanks, Marco. Have a good one.
Bye, Marco. Thanks
Bye.
for
Have a great night.
with us. You too. Have a great night, Marco.
Bye.
Alrighty, back to the action, guys. We're looking up front. Looks like Slavonic. Paul hunted down Matt Christie. So the new leader here, the DMG United Autosport. Harold, I don't know if you can jump back there and see if we can see where that pass happened, what happened, but I'll tell you, Paul, he's been inching forward, as you guys can see, just on this last lap here. Paul Slavonic with an 8:02.4, Matt Christie with an 8:05.3. So definitely Paul is on a different pace and came right around Matt here. So I'm guessing it was just a simple exchange of position based upon speed.
Yeah, Trevor, he was working him over there for basically that whole lap, and just made a good move, keeping it clean. There was a couple of times they could have made some contact, but still a long way to go. And as we were talking off air, that Paul Slavonic is doing this whole race by himself. So, I mean, what
Wow.
a task he has got in front of him tonight, and just under 2 hours to go.
And I do have it pulled up. We can watch how he closed in and made the pass.
All right, here we go, going to the Herald Cam. All right, riding alongside Paul Savanek here in that DMG United Autosport 4 GT as he's looking for the pass to the Grid Life iRacer Matt Christie, the Nova Star. These are both front runners that we've seen through just pretty much any track that we go to. These guys are on the podium, and they just really know how to keep it together.
Yeah, this was a clean move. I mean, they were running really close when we had Marco on there talking about Continental tires, and just good, clean racing here. Obviously, he's in the draft here, coming down the long straightaway.
Yeah, and talk about long straightaway. It's like, all right, it's straight, and it's still straight.
And it's got a kink, yeah. Rich knows about this straightaway. Yeah,
I sure do, and what my Mini could do on that straightaway. My Mini
called?
could do 105 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Yeah, to get there. But you can see good clean move by Paul on Matt there, and I think Matt, didn't put too much of a fight up there.
Right, and yeah, at that point, I think as drivers and respect that they've had for each other over this entire series, I don't expect anything different. All right, so our new leader of the DMG United Autosport, Paul Savanek, followed by Matt Christie, followed by the ROUSH Performance 4GT Joey Atterbury. Fourth place, Jordan Musser. There is our championship driver there, the Sprint Series. In that AmSource Motorsports, Jordan is really enjoy watching Jordan run. Very, very smooth driver. Fifth place, there's Ted Lowendick. I know he ran into a little issue. Maybe looked across the room, dog barked. I'm not sure what happened, but he unfortunately grabbed the green stuff. But it looks like he is back on pace here and holding on to a top 5, followed by Kyle Pate in the Grassroots Motorsports as he locks him down. A little flat spot action. And 7th place, Tim Stevens, Serpent Stangs Racing. Looks like he has some heavy damage across that Continental tire front end. That's tough. And just behind him, looks like we got a little bit of battle here. Tim Stevens, Trenton McMillian, the Western PA iRacing 4 GT. And then capping off here, close to the top 10, we're looking at Brian Richardson in the Rocky Mountain Racing Ford GT. Not racing, racing. There you go. All right, let's go back to the battle here of Tim Stevens, Trenton McMillian. Let's see what these guys will check out their best lap comparison. There's a side-by-side, guys. Like you're seeing Tim Stevens putting down 808 best lap, Trenton McMillian's 817. It's a little bit different pace here, but it looks like Trenton may have found something because he's holding to Tim here. Maybe Tim lost something here with that heavy damage on the front end of that Continental 4 GT.
Well, you can see it on the side too, the 64 there. It's got like a Darlington stripe on it right there.
It definitely does. Oh. All right, guys, of you that are just now jumping on, you're watching the ROUSH Performance World Tour Series final race. And all 170 turns, 16.1 miles of grueling action. If you're just now jumping on, make sure you hit that like button, hit the share button, tell everyone what's going on. If there's a birthday in the house, JP has a phenomenal voice and he is ready to sing to you. Or we can just bring the girls back on from Phoenix Uncaged. I'm not sure, whichever one you guys want to do. But also, kind of just running down the comment section here, Brian Pinter, Roush Jackhammer Owners Group in the house. Brian Pinter, and I'll give you a huge shout out. Brian is a Roush owner of a Jackhammer edition, and he's actually assembled a really cool group that gets all the Jackhammer owners under one roof, and it's really neat. So if you're a Jackhammer owner, get in contact with Brian Pinter. You can see him in the comment section there below. Brian, you can even tag the Jack Roush Edition owners group from Facebook. You can comment right here, and we'll get hopefully more Jackhammer owners together. So shout out to you, Brian. And let's see here. Who else? We have any birthdays yet? JP, are you ready to sing? You better be warming up them lungs.
I'm not really feeling about singing, but I will say is that I have a birthday in just less than 2 months, in about a month.
So, does that mean I'm singing happy birthday to you?
No.
No, he says no.
What I'm saying is that I'm not singing about happy birthday.
Oh. John T. Meek says, I need new tires. Well, you know what to do. Head over to continentaltire.com, find the nearest dealer near you, get that Visa gift card. Speaking of gift card, Jack, you want to so this is for all of you guys at home that are currently watching right now. Jack, you want to let him in on the action, or you want me to tell him?
Sure. Yeah, this month we are running a giveaway for a $250 Amazon gift card. To learn about it, just go to ROUSHPerformance.com and subscribe to our newsletter if you're not already, and we'll send you information to learn more.
Absolutely, and there's a lot that you can do with an Amazon gift card, $250. I don't know about you guys, but my wife has a serious problem with it.
Started in iRacing.
Yeah, there you go.
Up to buy you a wheel.
That's right. There's your setup there. Done dealio. All right, guys, we are at 1 hour, 47 minutes left, lap 9 of 23. We're coming up on 9:30 here, and we're going to go to a quick break here, and we're going to keep the live action going, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to have Haggerty, our other partner. We're going to have a guest from Haggerty in the booth. We're going to talk to them a little bit about what Haggerty has to offer, and just obviously give them thanks for all the support that they've given us through this series. So we will see you guys back here in just a few minutes. All right, broadcast guys, the booth is back. Jumping in on the action as we follow Joey Atterbury around the track as he completes lap 10, hour and 44 minutes left. And now, Owen, that you say that, I did not realize that Paul Savanik is single-handedly doing this. How do you concentrate for 3 hours straight on this track?
Well, I mean, I've run some 3-hour stints before, but this is nothing like the Nordschleifer here. So with 170 turns, this is going to be interesting. I mean, we got to have Paul on after this event, no matter if he wins this or not,
Yeah.
just to see how he gets through this. I mean, he's going to have somebody there helping him out.
Yeah.
You know, maybe giving him some like power bars. And
Yeah,
some drinks
IV
and,
of coffee.
And something. Yeah, something.
You know what? Yeah, we may have to add like an Ironman award for this race.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
I mean, yeah, he's going to win this hands down for sure, but he's super quick. He's out front leading this race, and I think he's just trying to, build that gap.
And he is absolutely building that gap. He's put a 6.5 seconds over Matt Christie, which is our second place driver, which is extremely talented, followed by Joey Atterbury in third, Jordan Musser in fourth, and Ted Lowendick rounding out the top 5. But Jack Roush Jr., why don't you tell us, we have a new guest in the booth from Hagerty. Jack Jr., why don't you tell us a little bit about who is in the booth with us?
So when we kicked off this series, we brought in Hagerty to be a partner with us to really take it to the next level. And we have Brian, and I apologize, Brian, I've not heard your last name pronounced. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with it. I don't want to make a fool out of myself like some people do with track names here. But welcome to the booth, and thanks for being part of this.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
And if you don't mind, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Gidanelli. So not the chocolate guy, but it sounds kind of similar.
That's what I was going to say.
I wish, because
Sure you were.
if it was the chocolate guy, I would be driving one of those 4 GTs at the ring right now.
Exactly. Well, yeah, no, Hagerty, you guys have been with us since the very beginning. So, again, I'm going to, first off, I'll just say thank you on all the ROUSH Performance Esports and all of Team ROUSH. Thank you so much for supporting us through this. I mean, it's been really tough times, and for you guys to jump on board and to see what we've been able to put together. This is our 21st live stream event, and we've actually streamed. Now, I believe we streamed one day. I believe we're at 1 day, 5 hours of streaming. So without the support of Hagerty behind us, none of this could have happened. So thank you, first off, on that. We're going to go to a quick video, and we're going to come back and ask a couple things about what Hagerty has to offer. And for those track day guys, how can we kind of help those guys and keep them safe on the track, or at least their car? So we're going to go to a quick promotional video here, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, back to the live action. As you've seen, and I'm not sucking up, Brian, I promise. That is one of my absolute favorite spots. It hits the heartstrings every single time. It's cool. The 66 Mustang was my first car. So it kind of relives my story, kind of just thinking about the day that I was trying to talk my dad into it. So what a great spot, and just kind of hits home for me. But another thing with Hagerty, you guys just do, I feel like, everything right. And I want you to be able to kind of tell our viewers right now, what all does Hagerty do? And if you are now viewing right now, if you go to the track, you bring your car to the track, go ahead and comment in the section below. Give me a little hand raise. Let us know where those track rats are at. And Brian, I'll let you tell us a little bit about Hagerty.
Awesome. Well, we love partnering with you guys this year on the iRacing series. I think all of us were, of course, frustrated that we couldn't be at the real racetrack more. But I think the spot that we just watched and our partnership with you all really comes from the same place from Hagerty's perspective, and that is, we are people who love cars. And so while maybe we're doing some virtual stuff right now, like, we all have this love and this passion for sport, motorsport, as well as cars in general. And so the kinds of things that Hagerty does, whether it's our Hagerty Drivers Club, or it's our insurance, or it's the media we put out, or the events we run. All of it comes from that same core place. So stoked to see that there's some track junkies on the chat today. That's I count myself firmly in that camp.
What kind of car are you taking around the track?
I'm a Spec Miata racer oftentimes. So I have to do some endurance racing. So as a lot of racers, I have a real pedestrian street car. I've got a tow rig, but I'm probably like a lot of other racers too, that if it's got wheels and goes fast, I'm not too particular.
Right. and so when you go to the track, why don't you tell us, so I'm sure you're covered with what is it, HPD?
Yeah, so my job at Hagerty specifically is I run our motorsportreg.com service, which is part of Hagerty Motorsports.
Yeah.
And so actually just today we launched an all-new website with a new search and new design and everything. So if you're looking to find an event in real life, we've got 7,000 track days, autocrosses, club races, things like that every year. And if you are going to one of those track days, I know that when I started, I was really concerned about taking my daily driver out. And what if something went wrong? What if I hit some oil? What if it was wet? Who knows what the things could be? And Hagerty has this really great HPD insurance policy that protects your car when you're at the racetrack for a non-competitive day. So track days are the kinds of events that we cover. But it takes that peace of mind and gives it back to you so you can focus on having fun and being with your friends, which is the reason why we all go to the track.
Absolutely, and just as you kind of mentioned with the Hagerty, the Motorsport Reg, is like that's one of the toughest things. Like, what is going on around me? And if you guys don't know, that's actually what we use to let all the drivers know in iRacing what we're doing, where we're racing, when we're racing. They're able to actually sign up through there, and it just keeps everything really clean and organized. So you understand who's going to be there, who's not, and it's really just easy to put out that information fast into a really large group. So if you're looking to put on an event, if you're into autocross, track days, whatever that may be, Brian, where should we send them?
So motorsportreg.com is the place to find the event. You'll also find links to buy insurance there if you're going to a track day. And the comment you made about finding out what's going on, that's where this all started all the years ago when I created it, which was I needed a list of all the events in my area so that when I had free time, a free weekday or free weekend, I could fill it with something fun. And so I encourage everybody to check that out. We also have a great newsletter you can subscribe to there, which will send you a list of nearby events once a month. So you don't have to just look today. You can also get an email once a month to remind you what's going on.
And I feel like this can be great for both drivers and just enthusiasts that want to know what's going on around them. So signing up for that newsletter, they're going to get information on tracks around them, correct?
Yep, absolutely. We also have some other great content too. Hagerty does so many things now. And if you haven't seen Hagerty's content and media, we're publishing motorsport articles every day. We're covering not just topical stuff like maybe what's going on in F1, but also much more grassroots and participatory type stuff as well. So drivers, clubs, what kind of local racing, grassroots stuff, a lot of great stuff for everybody, whether they like to watch pro racing, they're a sim racer, they want to go out and get their hands on the wheel, like all those categories.
Awesome. Well, guys, you heard Brian. Go check them out and obviously see what's going on kind of near you. I know obviously events aren't as going right now, but hopefully things start to pick up, and hopefully we'll see you guys at a track near you soon. So Brian, thank you so much for jumping on with us, and we will talk to you here shortly.
Thanks so much. We really enjoy our partnership with you guys, and good luck on finishing up the season tonight and then for 2021.
Excited to see what we're going to do. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Brian. I hope you have a great rest of your night.
Thanks.
It's fun hearing what you had to say about Hagerty.
Alrighty. And here we are catching up with the leader here. All right, Owen, why don't you give us a little insight here? We're, let's see here, hour 34 left. Where's your mind right now as a driver?
Well, I mean, you're obviously pretty focused here, but Paul, doing this solo, man, he hasn't put a wheel wrong all night. We've been following along with him here quite a bit. That he's on it. He's super focused right now. and no pressure from anybody. His biggest thing, challenge-wise, is to keep it on the track, race the track here at the Nurburgring. One thing that we may have had happen here in the last 5 to 10 minutes here, I don't know if Matt Christie had a problem or they pitted early, or came in to do a quick fix, but they've made a pit stop, so I'm not sure where they've fallen down the order because they were running second, and we saw that pit stop go on, so I'm not sure exactly where he fell back to, but
yeah, it looks like right now there was a driver swap from Matt back to Paul Darling, and it looks like they are currently in 4th place here.
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah,
maybe they short pitted just to get Matt. I mean, there's no question that Paul Darling's the class of the field over everybody. He showed that in qualifying, showed that early on this race. So to get him back in the car and maybe just shorten up Matt's stints just to put Paul back in.
Absolutely, and yeah, it looks like we're still kind of hanging on to those top drivers with Slavonic, Atterbury, Messer, and Lowendick. So it's not easy competition up here at the front. And I mean, just as we were saying, I mean, there's a lot riding on these guys' shoulder. And Paul Darling, Matt, they're extremely quick. But one little mess up, one little slip up, they could open up that spot for these other really talented drivers.
No, definitely, for sure. It's not over yet, you know.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of things could go on.
All right. And Rich, why don't you tell us a little bit about, so if you're obviously a sports car enthusiast, you listen to a podcast and you're not listening to Sports Car Unleashed, what are you even doing?
Well, what you should be doing is Sports Car Unleashed. We have a ton of episodes to catch up on. We haven't done a show in a couple of weeks, but we're getting back on it here shortly. And look, we've been at this for almost a decade now. We've had everyone in the sport, from engineers to drivers, like my co-host here, Owen Trinkler, team principals, you name it. Every aspect of the sports we cover, and we really pride ourselves on our interviews. We really try to get people to know the people in the sport the way we know them. I mean,
absolutely.
That's one of the things we love about sports racing. It's just the passion and the knowledge of everyone, from the fans to the heads of sanctioning bodies. You know, it's really a special place.
Oh yeah.
We want to see more people. We're always trying to spread the gospel of sports car racing. So yeah, check us out. We're everywhere you find a podcast, we are at.
Definitely. Well, yeah, go give those guys a shout. Check out their latest episodes. They got some really quality stuff. And definitely, if you're a motorsport enthusiast, car enthusiast at that, jump in there and listen to their interviews. They've had some really recent great ones. And so, yep, you can download them on any of those podcast streaming networks. So go give them a shout. Also, let's jump to a quick break here. We're going to show you guys the 511 tactical truck and ROUSH Performance F-150 supercharged, and the partnership between us and 511 and one of Jack Jr.'s really good friends, Chris. And I'll just let the video tell its story. Here we go.
I'm Jack ROUSH Jr., and we're here today at the 511 store in Las Vegas. We're gearing up for a 3-day video shoot that we have coming up. We're shooting a commercial to feature our 2020 F-150 off-road truck. This thing is a monster, 650 horsepower. When you put your pedal to the metal, you will feel it with this truck. We're going out into the desert. It's going to be hot out there, tons of sand, and it's going to be a lot of work. We really need the gear to support us out there. And as you can see, there's a lot of that here. We're like kids in a toy shop. It's a pretty grueling environment out here, and 511 puts a lot of time into the development of the tech of their gear. This helps ensure we're safe as well as comfortable on set. Working 15+ hour days in 115-degree heat, every little advantage helps. Yeah, so come check out this video. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Really cool story about my friend Chris Karachi and a little bit about the truck too. I think you'll enjoy it.
These are unprecedented times, and they say it's better to have it and not need it than, well, you know the rest. My name is Karachi, and I've spent my whole life in the service of others. For me, there's no greater honor than when I'm entrusted with the preservation of life. And in my world, here, there can be no compromise. The hard work begins long before the job ever starts. I train hard, so I fight easy. I never stop learning, evolving. This is the fabric of my life. Beyond training, the equipment I choose is critical to mission success. Whether weapon, engine, body, or mind, I require power on demand. That said, the burden of power must be balanced with discretion, necessary for the respect of life. The tools I trust are designed and engineered to function at peak performance. When life hangs in the balance, there can be no margin for error. My life has taken me all over the earth. Navigating the right path is never easy. As a great warrior Hannibal once said, if I don't know the way, I'll make the way. Hey, we can't always choose what life throws at us, but we can damn well choose how we'll go through it.
All right, and we are back to all 170 turns, 16.1 miles. I'm still just blown away by that.
Corners. I think they've added a couple of corners since the break.
I think so. It feels like it. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness, guys.
That is so easy to do here.
Paul Slavonic leading. Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine what is happening in this car right now.
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh man.
Not good. Oh, it looks
that
like
car is banged up.
Yeah, so it's a long race. You know, I would say, you know, you should just try to get around the track, you know, not bang it up worse, and use one of those fast repairs and get right back out there. You know, use it as an opportunity to get some gas too. So it may not be as bad as it may seem.
Yeah, that's I'm almost at a loss for words because you typically don't see Paul Slavonic slip up, and as much as he's been owning this course, that is super tough. It's almost like a pin in your chest, being like, oh my goodness, what just happened? And I couldn't imagine how he's feeling, especially with what's out on the line, guys. Some big prizes to take home.
Well, if you look at the leaderboard here, I think you see a story here being told. After starting at 10th place, everyone is out. And I'm assuming that's because they've crashed out and they're just there in the pit for more repairs.
Yep.
The track is so dangerous. You know, it is truly deserving of the name, the Green Hell.
Absolutely, yeah.
It really is.
We're seeing it right here. You guys can see on the left of the screen here. I mean, you basically, yeah, you're right. You got 1st through 9th still running, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th is out, and drivers have even dropped completely out. There's Slavonic giving a little flash there. So referring to the professional drivers here, what's the reasoning that he's doing that right now with no drivers around him?
I don't know why he did that. That's a good question.
Maybe he has our feed on and he can see that we're talking about it.
Yeah, or he could be looking for another button. You know, on a lot of steering wheels, you'll have a million buttons on there, and I find myself kind of searching around occasionally and hitting the wrong buttons.
So Jack, so let the listeners know, what does it feel like when you have a big off like that? I mean, how different does the car feel to you in the sim as opposed to in real life?
Well, it's way worse in real life, obviously, because you can't just have a fast repair. You know, a crash like this will be the end of your day. I mean, even if you can replace parts, it's going to end any chance you have of winning. Also, there's, you know, a real impact. You know, you can get the wind knocked out of you, or, you know, get banged up in another way, and you just have to, you know, assuming your car can still run, you just need to focus and get past that.
Right. And I mean, maybe this was good timing. Unfortunately, there's never good timing to wreck, but we're seeing Jordan Mustard, Joey Atterbury pulling in as well. So we have three of the top five here as Slavonic is on his way back out. So this definitely really kind of tightened up the field here as Paul Darling takes that lead spot here.
I think I saw Rob Holland hop into the car.
Yep, there it is. Rob Holland is making the driver switch with Joey Atterbury. Joey's definitely put him in a good position. They're coming in on 2nd place, and Joey's pretty much been able to hold that position the entire race. So it's going to be cool to hear from Joey. Joey's about to join us in the booth, so we're going to hear a little bit about what's going on out on the track there, and maybe he can kind of give us some insights onto what that track's feeling like and where the car's at.
You know, I was talking about Jack, you know, you talk about, you know, you had the big off, and then Paul coming out of the pits spun the car going into the slow turn.
Yeah, again, you know, it's really easy to do here. You know, I probably have spent more time practicing for this race than any of the others, and for me, Nurburgring is definitely on my bucket list. You know, it's a really special place. I've never been to this track in real life, but you know, a ton of respect for it, both in wanting to be here as well as how treacherous it is. You know, that being said, you know, I was pretty happy with my finish last night. I don't know how in the world I did it, but I was able to keep all 4 tires on the road the entire stint. But you know, that's very tough to do.
And that was an hour race. So, I mean, Jack, I'm sure you can feel for these guys because, like, the level of concentration, I mean, I've noticed this just doing, like, smaller road courses. I feel like my eyes are always going to the same place, but then I get into this, like, trance almost. And how do you stay out of that trance of, like, I understand that you want to stay in that momentum and you want to kind of stay focused on certain points, but there's also a point that I feel like you go too far into a focus. Is there things that you guys do as drivers to kind of stay right in the middle?
Yeah, you know, I think there is. And, you know, just to add a little bit more, one of the things that's really tricky here is that there are certain sequences of turns here that are similar to other ones, and you'll find yourself, especially as you're learning it, getting confused because it seems like this is kind of like this other sequence, but it ends completely differently.
Right.
Or, you go through a turn that you thought was going to be slow and it's high speed, and you think, oh, I should have carried more speed, and you find yourself going into the next corner too fast. It's
almost like a snowball effect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All these little mind tricks that this track plays with you. I don't know if you found that, Rich, when you were there.
Well, I only did one lap in real life, so so yeah, so it was 50 dirt and that's what I had, so that's what I did, and
yeah,
boy, I learned a lot about extreme oversteer.
Wow.
Yeah, but one question I was going to ask you, Jack. As I started playing some of the sim versions of the Nurburgring. I found that for me it was easier to learn the track by learning sections and just compartmentalizing the sections and then kind of piecing them together as opposed to learning every corner. How did you go about getting a feel for such a daunting circuit?
I've been studying this track for a while now, well before this year, and I just run the full track, and quite often as I was learning it, I'd crash, and I'm thankful that it wasn't a real car, and you just do another lap. It's not a big deal.
All right. And we're looking to get Mike in here from Skip Barber Racing School. He's going to be our next guest up. But until then, we're going to just continue to watch these guys absolutely slay this track turn by turn. Lap 13. We're at an hour and 16 minutes left. And someone's going to go home with some heavy pockets if they can carry that new trophy in there. They're gonna get a coin. They're gonna get the R seat and a set of Continental tires, so they better have some big pockets too, let me tell you that.
What kind of pants do you wear?
Cargos. Cargo trailers.
Hey, and just to give the listeners a little more perspective on just how daunting the Nurburgring is, after the race, do yourself a favor and just type in Nurburgring in YouTube, and you will see video after video after video of professionals and amateurs alike getting it wrong at this place. It's super easy to do.
Yeah, no, that's and it's really unfortunate, honestly, to see how many cars it claims. I mean, you jump on YouTube and you type that in. Yes, it's extremely impressive to see those cars get around there, but then to also see all these cars get crunched up, it's and a lot of these, I feel like they're like, I wouldn't call them amateur track guys, but maybe they're not professionals, and they come out here with these like super high-end cars and just wad them up, and it's pretty painful to watch.
I mean, you see supercars up there. I mean, there's videos of people going out there in their VW and just all kinds of crazy things you wouldn't expect to be on a racetrack, let alone the Nurburgring.
Right. And
pretty entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of, here is Rob Holland, track native. I think you can see his house right behind him there. Somewhere in there.
RV on the hill there.
But like I kind of said earlier, guys, Rob has an awesome video on our ROUSH Performance Esports page. You can take a ride with Rob. He's a track native, knows the area super well, knows the track better than anyone. Literally inch by inch, he could call out the what they cut the grass on, what length they cut the grass on which turn. So if you guys want to check it out, head over to ROUSH Performance Esports page, and you guys can check it out. Ride along with Rob, and you can kind of hear me and Joey chatter in the background. But it is a really cool experience to be able to ride along with him. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting into iRacing and you want to take this track on, that would be a really good starting point to kind of hear him out, because he talks about getting through the gears, talks about elevation changes, where you need to be, how to set up the car. I mean, pretty much the ins and outs. I mean, I felt pretty confident. I'm like, after I heard him tell us that, I'm like, I'm going to go do it. I jumped on the sim. I was about 10-minute mark, and I wasn't halfway through the track. So I think I need a few more sessions with Rob Holland, but I wish you guys better luck if you guys give it a shot. All right. And just a reminder, guys, if you want your chance at winning a $250 Amazon gift card from ROUSH Performance, all you have to do is head over to roushperformance.com, subscribe to our newsletter. You'll click there at the top, click newsletter, subscribe. You're going to get an email from us here in the near future that'll talk about the details of winning, but it could very well be you. You're sitting there right now, and you're like, man, I hope that I win that. Well, it could be you, but the only way that you can really hope is if you go subscribe to our newsletter. So we hope you guys do that. Don't do it right now, unless you have 2 screens and you can do it. We want you to watch the race. And we want you to tell your friends about the race. So make sure to like and share and tell everyone what's going on over here on the ROUSH Performance Esports channel. Also, one more thing, if you're just now jumping in, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're watching from and who you are pulling for.
Hey, Trevor, you can use that gift card to buy yourself another monitor too. You run triple screens.
I need that.
You can actually talk to our next guest who I've got taken care of from Skip Barber.
There you go. Let's see here. Mike, you're in the booth with us. I think he's in the booth with us. Let's see here.
Yeah, he's there. He's just a little faint is all.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
There you go. Mike, what's going on?
Just watching the race here. It looks like a good show going on.
It absolutely is. These guys have really been hanging on there. Joey actually just got out of the car. I apologize. The booth smells a little bit because that's Joey for you. But Joey just got out.
Sweaty palms.
Yeah. Joey, tell us a little bit about the first stint there that you put in. You put in some really solid laps.
I mean, yeah, I was pretty happy with it. The only thing that I'm a little hard on myself is that last lap. I managed to find a tire barrier at some point. So Jordan Musser cut some time, I think about 8 seconds or so on that last lap. So a little disappointed in myself, but was able to get Rob Hall in the car. I know that Rob is the class of the field tonight. He's a real pro here at Nurburgring, and I wanted to get him in the car so we got the best chance of winning.
Well, I think you definitely put him in a really good position. But, question, Mike, does Skip Barber go to Nürburgring?
Hey, listen, we're working on it.
We're working on it.
We try and get everywhere.
You need to take my friend Rich out there. He wants to do it again.
Yeah, no problem. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Well, Mike, we're actually going to show a quick promotional video of Skip Barber Racing School, and then we're going to come back to you and talk a little bit about the school and the partnership between our ROUSH Performance and Skip Barber, and we'll talk about maybe the reactions that we've been hearing from customers getting in our ROUSH Performance Stage 3 Mustangs.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Time, we expect some great side-by-side racing. So sit back, relax, and stay hydrated. The heat is on.
Bad girl with a good heart. Lost boy got a fresh start. Machines burn gasoline. Stay chrome on the Mustang. Drop top, no we don't play. Cause I don't want nicotine.
All right, and back in on the action as you guys just checked out that awesome video of Skip Barber Racing School. That definitely makes me want to strap in right now and turn some laps. Why don't you, Mike, tell us a little bit about Skip Barber Racing School?
Yeah, Skip Barber Racing School has been around for 45 years, started in 1975 approximately, and nonstop ever since. We go from coast to coast and Canada. So we're all over the map here. doing what we do best here. The largest racing school in the world, the best known, well-known racing school in the world. People come from all over the place to do our programs. 1/3 of every IndyCar field is typically held by Skip Barber graduates.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's we're happy to be able to supply the high quality racing drivers that we produce and keep them going.
Absolutely. And what would you say that your favorite track that you guys go to is?
Oh boy, we're just about to hit Laguna Seca on Monday.
Oh yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy going there. Sebring is another one that we just finished up at that I thoroughly enjoy. It just because it's so challenging with all the bumps and whatnot.
Right.
It has characteristics like no other out there. So those would be my two favorites at this point in time. But there's plenty more to go to.
Absolutely. So we've recently partnered with you guys to bring in a new fleet, which was the ROUSH Stage 3 Mustangs. And why don't you tell us, how has that changed the experience of the school? Are you hearing maybe customers talking or riders talking about their experience of the new car? And I'm sure you guys have tested it out, and I'm so glad that you brought up Sebring. Actually, one of the very first times I was actually working in the dealer, working for a dealer at the time, and I rode along with Jack Roush Jr. And I was actually telling the story yesterday out at Sebring. We're in a Stage 3 Mustang, and we're going down into the first corner. And mind you, I haven't been out on a racetrack very much. I stay behind the wall, and I'm sitting here right along with Jack, and I'm like, I wonder when he's gonna touch the brakes. When is he going to slow down? When is he going to turn? And he just keeps carrying on, his just little grin. And I'm over here just like, it was the Roush grin for sure, but I was gripping that seat pretty tight. And it's amazing to see the capability. And I never realized how rough Sebring is. And when you get our coilover suspension on that track, it really does help out the car. And it really performed outstanding. So I'm curious, are you getting the same feedback?
Oh yeah. So when we announced that we were going to be partnering up with ROUSH Performance, was so very proud of that partnership. I had made a couple announcements in graduation classrooms that we would be getting that fleet of cars, and we immediately had people signing up for the program instantly. So, and we've been getting nothing but positive feedback from the students that have driven these cars. Just from the sheer sound that they make, the horsepower, the way they handle, it's simply amazing. I'm gonna back step here to turn 1 at Sebring there, which has Jack can vouch for this. It's not like turn 17, but like turn 1 is super bumpy, and there's a couple transitions there that goes from concrete to blacktop, which can unsettle the car quite a bit. And Jack, you can back me up on this one too. It's almost a no lift corner, right? So
yeah,
these
can carry a lot of speed.
Yeah, you carry a tremendous amount of speed through there. The cars are super stable. They really don't fight you at all through that particular corner there, which you would kind of expect, the car to get unsettled a little bit. And it does a tiny bit, but these cars, the way they're set up, and the adjustments that are available to us to make on those three-way adjustable coilovers that we have in these cars, we can adjust that car to work with that track superbly, and that's exactly what we do.
That is great. And it's so funny, as you said, getting the feedback of just the sheer sound of those cars. And it's crazy to think, like, and mind you, when I worked for the dealer at the time, I would only really hear and see these cars being driven around a dealership and kind of down the street. And of course, go out, the driver test drive, he gets on it a little bit, but you don't really see that car's full potential until you get out on the track. And then you're just absolutely amazed knowing that you literally can go from a showroom floor out to a track and completely compete with other drivers. So if you're doing a SEA event or autocross event, the capabilities of these cars are extremely capable, and it's so cool that you guys are able to offer that. I mean, the biggest thing that I'd always say, and I've seen this time and time again now, is you go to these track day events, you put someone's butt in the seat, and they drive the car. And we had a story actually at Sebring, and Jack was there when this happened. There was a local track guy there. He went out, drove our vehicle, did literally went out, pulled out of the pit, came back around immediately, and said, I want this car. And he wrote a check for that car right then and there. And so I couldn't imagine what Skip Barber is bringing to these new audience just to see the capability of our cars. So we thank you guys for being able to put on such a great racing school. And I just got some feedback from my friend Garrett at American Muscle HD that just ran with you guys. And also Alex Fafinski. Alex just commented here. Alex ran with you guys a couple programs back, and they both had the same reaction, that you guys just have such a great school going on, a professional, and they really felt safe with you guys, and that you guys really knew your tracks. So we appreciate you guys putting on such a great school and being able to showcase the capabilities of our cars.
Yeah, no problem there. We thoroughly enjoy it. You know, safety is priority in anything we do. That's number one priority, and the second priority is customer satisfaction, making sure they learn everything they need to learn and learn in a safe, controlled manner. So when they get out there on the racetrack, they're not hesitant or scared or anything like that. We build up their confidence. You got to crawl before you can walk, before you can run, and that's the way we spoon feed our information to all of our students, and the knowledge of handling a race car on the track. No matter what, doesn't matter what track we're doing a racing school at, the same principles still apply to every single venue that we go to, or you may go to if you end up racing. So, you know, we tailor it and teach it in such a way where it's adaptable to any track you go to.
Definitely. And yeah, you're hearing it live right here. Alex Fafinski, one of your students, he's literally just commented. He says, just super instructors. So shout out to you guys, and thank you so much for partnering with us. And we're excited to keep getting these customers in these cars, seeing the capabilities of our cars across the U.S. What's the best way to contact you guys or check out where you're going to be next?
Yeah, you just go to skipbarber.com and hit on the menu link there and click on calendars, and you can go there and you can find out where and when we're going to be, and when our ROUSH Performance Intro to Racing program is going to be running. It's all right there in black and white, or you can give us a call at 866-932-1949, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
All right.
You can email through at mike.stillwagon@skipbarber.com.
Perfect. Well, yeah, and we'll drop it in the comment section below as well. But Mike, thank you so much. And you guys heard him. Head over to skipbarber.com, see where they're going to be at near you. Get out in that car. If you want to know a little bit more about the Stage 3 and you really want to get sold on it, then head over to skipbarber.com or contact Mike. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, back to the action, guys. We're getting ready to crest that 1 hour remaining mark for the ROUSH Performance World Tour Series, the final race here. We're getting ready to crown a champion of the Enduro Series, 2 champions. And they're going to go home with some hardware and some new gear from our friends at Continental Tire and Hagerty, as we are riding alongside, above, should I say, Paul Slavonic. I know he had a kind of a tough break there, but he's currently holding on to second place. Let's go ahead and get a side-by-side comparison, guys. Let's see the last lap between the battle. The Pauls are back. We've seen this last night. Paul Darling with a 7:55. This is previous lap. And then we got Paul Slavonic with an 8:01. So Slavonic, he's going to have to find a little bit of time here to steadily catch Darling. Looks like the gap is just around 42 seconds. But like we saw, guys, any little slip up here could definitely bring that gap in.
Doesn't take much, does it?
It doesn't take much. All right. Let's jump over. We're gonna ride along inside. You don't even you don't need to head over, watch the video. You can watch it right here, riding alongside with Rob Holland and that ROUSH Performance 4 GT, currently holding on to third place. Joey Atterbury, you put him in a great position, man.
Yeah, I tried my best out there. You know, I have never raced at the Nurburgring before, so just trying to keep my nose clean. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed in myself on my last lap mistake. It cost me, I'm looking at the data here, it cost me about 14 and a half, 15 seconds there on that last lap. So I could have put him in a better position, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, third place is looking pretty good to me, especially at this track, as we've seen it eat up some drivers. I mean, as we were talking about earlier, I mean, more than half of our drivers have dropped out and or just completely pulled in the pits because this is grueling. And if you guys think that just jumping in at home on a sim is easy, I don't know about me. Maybe I'm just terribly out of shape, but after a few laps, I start sweating a little bit. It's like watching Cops all over again.
Let me tell you, I run virtual reality, so I have this big helmet on, if you will. It's just like putting a race car helmet on and sitting in the race car, which is great. The immersion factor is wonderful. But it gets hot in there. I have to have floor fans running because it starts fogging up the lenses. It's definitely warm between the computer, the VR, the activity. Trust me, guys, it's not a cardio workout, but it is definitely elevated heart rate.
Absolutely. All right. Let's go ahead and do a quick rundown, guys, here. We're going to start off at... as we just switched over to Paul Darling, our leader, just put down fastest lap with a 7.535, which is absolutely getting it, guys. I'm trying to think of his qualifying time, guys. What was his qualifying time? It wasn't far off.
Yeah, I think it was about that. Let's see here. Qualifying.
7:53.991.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cooking.
So he's
That is
actually
getting it.
beat his qualifying time.
He is not done either, as we were kind of talking about earlier with Owen, talking about like fuel consumption, and as that kind of decreases, we're going to see obviously some time get shedded off there. But let's run down here with our remaining drivers that are still hanging on. We got Paul Darling in the Grid Life iRacers for GT, holding on to that first place position. Best lap 7:53.5. Heading over to Paul Slavonic from the DMG United Autosport. Best lap there, 7:59.6. Heading over to Joey Atterbury's co-driver, Rob Holland, track native, the ROUSH Performance Ford GT. Best lap of 8 flat. Jeff Altenberg, teammates with Jordan Musser, our champion from the Sprint Series race on the AmSource Motorsports Ford GT. 5th place, Stacy Kyle Dunnigan and TS Racing for GT, holding on to that fifth spot. Kyle Pate, this is a number, I don't know if Kyle's running by himself too, guys. I don't know, Joey, if you can confirm that, but I've seen Kyle's name quite a bit here. Is Kyle running solo here on the Enduro?
You know, I can't remember. I think Kyle and maybe Trent.
Okay, there you go. So, yep.
I know that this last Enduro, you know, we're missing a few guys, and this track is incredibly difficult to learn, let alone race. And so I think it's a little daunting of a challenge for some. And we actually have guys that are regular racers in the Enduro that have lost their co-driver that have now paired up. So we're seeing teammates now.
Right.
It's pretty amusing to see, but we're one big happy family here at the ROUSH World Tour Series, and I'm happy to see these guys making friends and crossing over between teams and racing with each other.
That's the best part.
Wait,
Absolutely.
Just to clarify, the only driver who is currently driving who's been solo is Paul Slavonic.
What an Iron Man there. All right, but let's keep moving here right after Kyle Pate there in the Grassroots Motorsports 4 GT, holding on to 6th place. Heading over to Chris Wolfson, currently 7th place in the Western PA iRacing 4 GT, followed by that Serpent Stangs Racing, Tim Stevens. And 9th place, Rocky Mountain Racing, Trevor Oida. There he is. That is a sweet looking paint scheme there.
Yeah, it is.
Really popping there. Trying to see what that.
Jokers on the left of me, clowns on the right.
Yeah, is that who that is?
Yeah.
Let's.
Yeah, I gotta say, some of these liveries are really impressive.
Let's see if we can do a.
Like we were talking about that as well. Here. You know, that's one thing. As we continuously, look at these liveries, all it takes is paint shops, Photoshop, right? Paint shop,
That's right.
or any other GIMP, a few others, and you can make your own paint scheme and feature it out on here on the broadcast with us.
Right.
And getting into those new dirt racers, the 4x4 trucks that would be running.
Oh yeah. There's Trevor Wida. Clowns to the left, Jokers to the right. We got the eyes up on the spoiler there. Pretty neat. All right, guys, and that.
Not only Photoshop, but I believe trading paints. Jack, I think you were messing around on that. Can't you create some custom paints on trading paints as well? You don't use Photoshop nowadays.
Yeah, we just put together some liveries for the off-road series that we're about to come out with. And it's super easy. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's like Paint Builder or something like that. But yeah, you don't need Photoshop. Photoshop you can do a bit more with, but they make it super easy in trading paints.
We got custom numbers that we can use next season, and because they're trucks, they're much bigger, so there's a lot more real estate to put stickers on.
Absolutely. All right, and speaking of next season, we're gonna show you a quick clip of what we're going to. If you guys are just now jumping on, you do not want to miss this. So hold your phone still, your computer, don't go nowhere. We're about to show you some really exciting stuff, and you sitting right there can get in on the action. So we're gonna show you a quick clip. We'll be right back. All right, back to the action. I don't know. We were just at the action, actually, and we're coming back to the action, but that is some real intense action, and I can speak from experience. Joey and I were ripping around the track, and actually Rob in that clip that you guys were just checking out, ripping around Crandon there, and holy cow, is that beyond fun. Those are the Pro 4 trucks. We're going to that series starting January of the new year. We're going to do a 3-race series. These are going to be little sprint races, action-packed. These tracks are extremely fun and kind of technical. Lot of ruts, a lot of jumps. And we're going to put a lot of trucks on it, and it's going to be an absolute blast. So if you are an iRacer, or you want to be an iRacer and you want to join in the fun, rub some elbows, or should I say fenders with the pros, head over to our ROUSH Performance Esports page and go to click the Haggerty Motorsport Reg page that we'll be posting here probably tomorrow, along with that promotional video. So if you want to sign up, you're going to click that Motorsport Reg link and find out all the information about that series that we'll be starting. So we got some new partners hopping on with that, but Continental Tire is switching to the General Tire side for the off-road, seeing that full capability. Joey, I know you can probably talk a little bit more on that. Just don't tell them how many times you put me on my roof.
Hey, bud, you didn't need any help getting on the roof.
No, I didn't.
Don't blame that on me. Don't you put that evil on me.
No, it was the competitive edge that put me on my roof. I'm like, I can't get beat by Joey Atterbury. But then again, I started realization. I'm like, he's a professional race car driver. I'm like a marketing guy, so you know.
No, those trucks are a ton of fun, and Trevor, I thought you were doing great out there.
Thanks.
And it just goes to show you too, though, that these trucks, they're way different than the competitive road racing that we've been doing. So these road racers, they're not experts at trucks, and these truck guys aren't experts at road racing. So I think we're going to get a different mix of competitors with that. And guys, if you watch like the rallycross on iRacing, it's a ton of fun on the action, but we're taking it one step beyond that. those rallycross tracks, they only allow like 16, 18 cars maximum. We are going to put 40 trucks on Crandon, and it is going to be an absolute blast.
That's going to be insane.
Oh yeah, no, it's you can't even if it's fun with 2 trucks and 3 trucks on a track, which is all I've pretty much done at this extent with those tracks. I couldn't imagine what a start is going to feel like there. I mean, I don't know, maybe if someone can do my job, I'm jumping in a truck.
Well, that's the great thing, that Trevor, I've already made that call. I've got.
Oh yeah.
I'll be jumping in next season, and I do have experience with multi-cars in very small places. We had 64 cars on Lime Rock with multi-classes.
Oh my goodness.
24 hours of lemons that I was involved in, and it becomes a knack of being in the right place and staying out of trouble.
Yeah, well, I didn't do very well with the staying out of trouble part, but guys, we're super pumped about this. So if you want to be a part of it, head over to ROUSH Performance Esports page, and we'll have that Motorsport Reg link ready for you underneath or above the promotional video. So we hope that you can join us. If you're thinking about it, let us know in the comments section. We're kind of curious, kind of the demand for it. We've already had a lot of people say absolutely. So we're curious who else wants to get in onto that action. Alex Fafinski, I'm looking at you right now. Travis, are you you thinking about it? I know Travis is currently watching live here. He's one of the newest members of Team Roush. Shout out to Travis. Maybe you got to get on here, man. Let's make it happen.
We did put an invite out to the Bearded Sim Racer, and he's thinking about it.
There you go. That'd be great to get Ryan Bauer. Shout out to you, Ryan. Ryan's helped us. He's really the brains behind a lot of this operation of getting the programs going and everything. So shout out to you, Ryan. Thank you again for all the support of the entire Roush team. And another big shout out here, All-American Ford. One of our ROUSH Performance dealers, one of our top dealers up north there. You guys can, if you're looking for a vehicle, you can head over to allamericanautogroup.com and you can check out their inventory. They got some really great vehicles. Currently, they F-150, F-150 SC, the ROUSH Raptor, Super Duties, ROUSH Stage 3 Mustangs, you name it. They got it. So give those guys a call if you're thinking about getting into there. All-American Ford, and you can head to allamericanautogroup.com. All right. So there was a change of lead as Paul Darling went into the pit. Looks like he is maintaining. He's not switching drivers. Slavonic says, "Give me it back," as he takes on the first place position, and we're currently on lap 17 of 23.
Joey, what's the laps look like by fuel here?
We're doing about 3.5 gallons per lap. That's our fuel burn. So right now, let's see here. How many laps did I do? I think it was about 6 or 7 laps on a fuel stint.
Okay, so Paul Slavonic's going to have to come back in. Paul, it looks like Paul Darling came in, so he's got only 1 lap in on his current fuel load. Everybody else is looking at 4 and 5.
Yeah, as of right, if we ran that thing dry, I think I was right at about 50 minutes, 5-0, full fuel run.
So basically, everybody's going to need to come in at least one more time. Paul probably got his last in here, Paul Darling.
Yeah, he might have been the first to stop.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to point out is, being more used to tracks that are long at a quarter of the size of this track, talking about having so few laps for a fuel run is kind of crazy. But this track is, it just shows the scale of how big this is.
Not only do they have so little laps during the fuel run, but the car also, if you ran it dry, it's going to run out of gas halfway around the lap, which is 8 miles away from start to finish.
Oh, man.
So you really got to factor in, are you trying to stretch it? Do you have to save some fuel to make it that extra half lap? Do you want to stop and just run it at 100%? There's a lot of different variables.
And we did talk while you were in the car, Joey, that that it could be an 8 to 9 minute tow if you're in the wrong parts of the track.
Well, let me tell you guys, I didn't use the tow truck, so I couldn't tell you.
You know, driving this track, to me, it feels like you're on a country road. You know, it's not like a normal track where it repeats itself.
Right.
You know, just it goes on and on and on.
Exactly. Yeah, we're riding along inside here with Paul Slavonic, and we got the speed down there. So you guys are really seeing the difference in speeds, which is absolutely amazing. You're seeing 150 coming all the way back down to 80, and I mean, this is all within just a mile or so. So a lot of variation changes, a lot of big elevation changes, and you're absolutely right, Jack. I mean, a backcountry road, especially when that sun starts kind of cresting over, which I think we're kind of getting here into the golden hour, and we see that sun coming down. I think we might get it here. It absolutely reminds me of a back road.
You know, it was kind of surreal for me. The first time I went to the Nurburgring, just you're like maybe 20 Ks out and you start seeing parts of the track. I'm like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm still 20 miles away from,
Wow,
well, not 20
that's
miles,
great.
like 15 miles from the front gate, from the main gate.
Right.
I'm like, oh my, it really gives you an idea of just how enormous this place is. It's incredible.
No, yeah, it absolutely is, and it's really cool to be able to recap on the entire ROUSH Performance World Tour series here. To end it here, I don't think there was a better track to choose. So I know Jack and Joe, you guys had a lot of say-so in this. So shout out to you guys for ending here. I mean, what a track to tackle and put a great show on.
Oh, thank you. That was not an accident, by the way.
Oh no, I didn't think so either.
This is all Jack's plan right here, and I think it's come to fruition for sure.
Absolutely. Well, let's kind of jump down here. We got Slavonic currently in the lead. Let's see. I'm not getting the gap from Paul to Paul. I don't know if one of you guys can fill me in on that.
It's because Paul's still on his first, or
Right.
Paul Darling's still on his pit lap. That's why
Got it. So we'll come back to you with that data. We got Rob Holland in third place, about 18 seconds off the leader, and then we have Jeff Altenberg. Looks like they switched back over from the Amsource Motorsports. 57 seconds, and top 5 Stacy Kyle Dunnigan with a 1:38.9. And guys, it looks like we've captured the attention for some new drivers for the off-road. It looks like Trent McMillian is interested. He says, I will be there for the truck races. Alex Fafinski looks like he's going to get some new hardware for his computer and says that he's going to definitely try to get out there. So it's as easy as that, guys. If you want to be a part of it, let's make it happen. Get out there and rub fenders, because I'll tell you that is going to happen. And hopefully you stay off your lid, because that's no fun. Can't go anywhere.
Well, you know, a race car driver that I used to race with online many years ago told me the greatest thing about online racing is there's a reset button.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that the truth?
That's
certainly
it.
a lot more cost effective.
Cost effective is right. Exactly. Well, guys, if you are sitting at home and you are probably watching us on one of our platforms, whether that's our Facebook pages, ROUSH Performance page, the ROUSH Esports page, Twitch.tv, YouTube, but also you're going to be able to, if you didn't capture the whole race and you're not doing anything this Saturday, well, guess what? You're going to be able to watch us on your Roku TV or Fire TV stick. All you're going to do is you can search the eSport Network, or you could do at eSport Network. Special shout out to those guys. They are getting us connected with some really great streaming products, and we're actually going to be moving our way to Apple TV. So we're not only going to be on Roku, Fire TV stick, but also Apple TV. So you're going to be able to catch the action absolutely anywhere. So there's no excuse for not watching the next series of the Pro 4 trucks. So we hope that you guys catch us on there. Go give those guys a follow on Facebook, and it's at eSport Network. Jason and his team, those guys are really great, and they put on a really great show, and they basically get us from this platform that you're watching us on to a streaming TV, which is really neat to see this network or this series grow. So shout out to those guys, and can't wait to see what the future holds of esports. I mean, I really thought that, and this is me kind of just being transparent, I thought, esport, it's going to kind of go on. Yeah, unfortunately, this pandemic kind of put us in this position, and it's going to go away. And absolutely not. The head steam that this has is absolutely crazy, and I don't think it's slowing down. You see a lot of big brands and stuff get involved with it. Jack, what do you think about it? What direction is it going? And I don't think it's stopping.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of proved out how great the racing can be. Honestly, I'm super impressed with the racing these guys are doing. When you watch a race and it comes down to the last few minutes and guys are side by side without touching, man, that is a great show right there. And I have to appreciate them. iRacing as a platform is just incredibly realistic. We as competitors, we spend a lot of time just tuning the cars. It's not just about getting the right gear, practicing your driving, but really just like in real life, going through and tuning it. I think when you look at all of that together, why would this go away? It's a great new platform.
Oh, absolutely. And Joey, I know you can kind of speak
better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the cool part is I felt like this was obviously being utilized as a racing tool to be a better driver, and now this could potentially get you in front of someone that you want to get in front of as far as a car owner of some sort. And because, I mean, obviously it's tough to say like what will actually move over to the real world, but I mean, we've seen it in iRacing. There's a NASCAR driver, I'm completely drawing a blank, but there was a NASCAR driver that started on iRacing and they gave him a chance in real life, and he's driving.
Byron.
What was that?
William Byron.
Is that who it was?
He's one of them.
Wow.
But think about it though. If you go back, NASCAR 2003 by Papyrus Racing, which is basically the backbone of iRacing,
right?
Is that Denny Hamlin went through there. Martin Truex Jr. raced there. Dale Earnhardt Jr. All these guys were racing back then, and Carl Edwards. And these are guys that I actually personally raced with online.
Right.
And now the kids are growing up in there. Not only they're doing the Bandoleros and stuff, they're getting in iRacing and they're moving up through the system with Junior and some other people, finding them through the iRacing system and giving them that lower division shot, but they're getting their racecraft in the sim.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, the thing that impressed me, I've been covering the sports for years, and I'm also an avid gamer. And when this first started, I had that, okay, iRacing is just a game. This is not just a game. This is so much more than.
Oh yeah.
The platform is a video game, but the actual racing is real racing. I mean, just the preparation that goes into the cars, and just the way the competitors approach each race it mirrors what they do in real life. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, I think when you look at what this type of esport is and what it does, it really doesn't take away from racing. I think it actually re-energizes it and gets people involved in it who never could have otherwise.
Right. Yeah, because now it becomes more relatable, because imagine these iRacers that haven't been to this actual track, but let's just say it's Mid-Ohio. They're running Mid-Ohio on iRacing, and the next thing you know, they're like, hey, I want to see the real guys do it. It's almost relatable being able to sit at home and watch on TV and be like, hey, I know that corner. I know how technical that is. Like, wow, that's really impressive that they're getting up to speeds here, and then being able to see the professionals do it. I think it yeah, you're absolutely right. It kind of brings in these, and I don't want to call them gamers, but it brings in this new generation that is doing this, and it kind of pulls them back into the actual sport where this originates.
Oh no, they're definitely gamers. And look, I mean, if you go back and look at like the early '90s when Gran Turismo came out, a lot of those young kids ended up turning into big fans of brands like, you know, the Nissan Skyline, things that you normally wouldn't see because of the video game. It totally opened up to a new subculture of cars, and I think that iRacing is kind of doing the same thing for motorsports. So you get more people from different walks of life who wouldn't necessarily think that motorsports was an avenue for them, or they didn't understand, you know, every aspect of the sport. It really opens up the sport to a lot of other people. I'm really excited to see what more, you know, talent we get out of this platform. And I think that this series is a great place to apply that.
100%.
Okay, I gotta ask, guys, am I the only one seeing this?
No, looks like this is Jordan Musser's new strategy. He's starting to shed weight. He says, I need to get faster. He had his pit team just rip off that front end there.
I mean, hey, there's benefit to that. Maybe it has increased aerodynamics. You have no idea. I mean, it's a video game. Maybe it actually gives a better aerodynamics. Maybe the strategy works.
I don't know, Joey, maybe you can talk to this one. Or Harold, if maybe you can find out the root cause to this new front end to the Ford GT. It looks very futuristic.
Yeah, you know, I was watching him, and Jordan had a little mishap in the Sprint series last night on the first lap, and it was the exact same place that he got caught out on. And this is first lap of his stint right here. So I think it was just full fuel load. He's got brand new tires. He's got a carrot right out there, and just a little bit too early, and it did him.
So are we going to see Jordan come in to pit here, or do you think he's just going to try to run it out and try to hold on to this top 5?
Well, you know, looking like the Batmobile out there, I would probably bring it into the pits. He kind of got lucky. He's running third or fourth right now, and I believe the car that was right in front of him also had a wreck just a few corners later. So if he can dip in, get this fast repair, he still might end up on the podium.
I do have it pulled up for us if you want to go over it.
All right, let's jump over to the Herald Cam, see what's going on with our friend and championship, the Sprint Series driver. Oh man! Let's go to the in-car cam. I want to see his hands here on what happened. Joey, maybe.
I think that part of the fence is sponsored by Gillette razors.
I think it's got the front half of a Ford GT attached to it.
Oh, and you know, hey Jack, it was just like what you're talking about. It's that snowball effect. It's like, oh, I'm a little bit too fast on this corner, and it really doesn't set me up for the next one.
Oh yeah,
and that's exactly what happened here.
Imagine the next Ford GT variation looks like this, except a lot cooler.
The spies are currently looking at it right now.
Kind of cool.
Designed by Bruce Wayne.
Inspired by Bruce Wayne.
There it is.
It actually kind of looks like a Batmobile out there, not gonna lie.
There it is, guys. There's a little bit tighter shot there. Yeah, that is very interesting, and it looks like he is going to have his pit crew come out here. We're going to watch these E-Crew guys jump out here. They're so fast that you won't even see them, and
these guys are ninjas.
These guys are absolute ninjas, and they're extremely fast on repairs here.
Yeah, Jordan's not driving the Ford GT no more. He's driving a Batmobile out here.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
But I say he's probably not gonna get any fuel. He's just gonna go. He's gonna stop. They're gonna fix the car and he's gonna go right back out.
And
you don't even see these guys out there.
No, look at just blazing fast, guys.
Unless, Joey, how many fast repairs do we have?
You know, they have 3 fast repairs, and I mean, guys, they might have used them already.
Apparently, because this is being fixed.
Yeah, this is not
So let me
I
tell you
noticed the
guys
fresh
what
water.
happened. The crew guys are actually at the they're currently
snack
they're eating a
stand.
chicken sandwich. They're at the stand getting some
I heard
food.
that place actually makes a nice sauce.
No, they're getting a nice Popeyes chicken
Oh,
sandwich.
guys, come on, they're getting schnitzel. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I have heard of one race car driver who lost their car and then went up in the stands and had a beer with them. But,
Oh no, that's great.
I'm not gonna lie. That
did you hear that story, Joey?
Yeah, I've been there at Road America and had to hop the fence, and I had a beer, and I even got offered some cheese soup that I had to turn down because let me tell you, it's about 130 degrees inside that race car. Last thing I want is some hot cheese soup when I get out.
Oh,
Got
I'm gonna start calling you Cheesehead.
locals at Road America.
Oh man, that's too funny. Cheese soup. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, beer cheese soup is the best.
Oh man, that must be a Wisconsin thing, huh?
Oh yeah,
Canadian too. But
it's the cheese headquarters.
I'll tell you, the next time you're at Epcot, the O Canada, they have the beer cheddar soup.
Wow.
Guys, I tell you what.
Oh yeah, I had that. I actually went to Epcot in that Canada section and had that bacon cheddar soup.
Nice. How was it, JP?
It was pretty good. I've actually had it before.
JP is actually a connoisseur of mac and cheese. So.
Heck yeah.
Can never
Are you a
have too
fan of
much.
the
I
mac?
had some M&C today. It was pretty good.
What was it?
M&C mac and cheese.
You gotta have it with
Come on, reading rainbow.
shredded pork.
Dang.
I'm writing all this down.
Yeah, you like pork barbecue. You know, like North Carolina Park barbecue on top of mac and cheese.
Oh wow, that sounds
like
good.
that sounds like a weird combo. I might try it at some point. I'm not sure.
Make sure have Trevor bring you some Carolina barbecue the next time he's back up in, up there in the low.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, guys. I was out in Michigan a couple months ago at this go-kart track, and there is something about track food that is delicious. And if you want to talk about track food, Road America, that is hands down the best track food I have ever had. People, talk about the Martinsville hot dogs, but Road America, Johnsonville right there.
Yeah.
You got the giant tank truck barbecue parked out front. I think you got Land O'Lakes down the street. You got that corn on the cob dipped in butter and handed to you on wax paper. So like the butter's dripping down your arm type of deal. It doesn't get any better.
Joey, I can agree because I've been to Road America a few times and their track food is amazing.
Hey guys.
I can agree on that.
Guys, it's been a 3-hour stream and I haven't eaten, and you guys are talking about food, and my stomach is literally like, you're about to hear it. It's growling.
Why didn't you really good there, Trevor? That's what we're trying to say.
Dang it.
So, Trevor, what was it before
It's really good, dude.
I appreciate you guys. That's how I know you're true friends.
What I want to know, did you have to do extra reps after Road America?
Like Road America track food.
It's almost as good as it is at Lehman's.
Where?
At Lehman's. You know about Lehman's?
Nope.
It's next to Lamar.
I'm done with y'all. Hey guys, Joe, you just take it from the top.
Joey wasn't around. We were picking on you and your ability to pick the racetracks.
I don't know what I blame it on, but I'm gonna blame it on something. I'll figure out what I'm gonna blame it on. I don't know what it is yet. All right, guys, we're checking out the leader here. Is still Paul Darling in the Grid Life iRacers. His teammate Matt Christie. These guys have really, they pretty much pitched a tent here on the podium through the series. One heck of a set of racers here on this Enduro series. And looks like they still have the fast lap of the night with a 7:53.5 as they just completed lap 20. So we got about 24 more minutes left. Lap 20 of 23. So there we're at. And you're watching your leader, Paul Darling.
Man, get a load of that sunset. I'm having flashbacks.
So Joey, that I think you know a little bit more about this than I do, but sunset at Nurburgring is kind of a heralded time of day, right?
Yeah, it's called the golden hour, and as we swap around to the different cameras, watching through these cars, we catch the horizon.
Here you go, right
not
here.
Only not only is the sky gold, but the angle that it hits the racetrack, and the surface of this racetrack is, it turns the racetrack gold.
Oh,
and
Stacy
look at that. It's beautiful, guys. I would love to go to Nurburgring and see this in person. It looks fantastic.
Hey Joey, your mom's on you. She said, "I'm glad to hear y'all like your track food. Anything healthy in that?" Oh man, gosh dang. And hey guys, I'm actually gonna blame this on Ted Lowendick. Ted actually just commented on Facebook. He says, "Just need Stacy not to wreck the car in the next 26 minutes." We're riding along with Stacy,
But he didn't
and
wreck
he almost did it.
You didn't wreck it.
He did. He
No, he
kept it
didn't.
off the
Right.
barrier.
It is not wrecked.
Yeah, that was an amazing save.
Yeah, so what I've learned in this car, so my racing has been in Mustangs. We've had ABS. These cars do not have ABS, and there's a little trick you can do. If the car starts to get sideways like that, you can lock it up just to stop the spin and just slide straight. But yeah, I don't know. It's seeing that I almost go into defense mode. I mean, it looks a little too realistic for me.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You're
I know.
right though, Jack.
Nurburgring has crashes. We might as well just call it Murdergring instead.
Look at you.
No, I was telling Jack, actually he's 100% right, and you really have to rely on those reflexes and understanding what you are doing to the car. If that you start a spin that you can't get out of, you can instantly lock up all four tires and set your trajectory. But you really have to know what you're doing, when to apply the brakes, when to release the brakes, but there's all sorts of tricks that these guys can do to get themselves out of trouble.
Well, definitely Stacy just showed us there, and Ted just commented back. He says, "I just told him no pressure. You're on the stream." Then he does that. That he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the pressure.
What was the key word there was Ted told him, "No pressure. You're on the stream."
Yep. That's what happened. Ted, maybe you can. I know you're sitting here watching the stream. Is there going to be? I'm guessing obviously Stacy's going to hold this one out here till the end. Hopefully, Ted, we can get you in the booth at the end of the night and kind of talk through some things here. But you guys are watching Stacy Kyle. He is currently 4th place, holding on to the top 5, and we are going to jump over to Rob Holland. There is your co-driver, Joey. Looks like he's kept the car together.
Yeah, like I said, man, I was happy that the only issue that I had was on the last lap. I got to get in a brand new car with that fast repair. I think Rob's just clicking off some really good laps right now.
Yeah, he is. And if you guys haven't had a chance yet, make sure that you click that little like button there as you're watching this and share it. Tell your friends about it. Tell them what's going on over here on the ROUSH Performance Esports page. That's how this community grows and gets these guys exposure, and they deserve it. They put in a lot of time in these cars in this series, and they put on a heck of a show for you guys. And we're definitely couldn't have done this without you guys, so thank you so much for the continued support, and we hope that you'll jump over with us to the new series starting up in January, which will be those Pro 4 off-road trucks, and we're going to be some dirt slinging, truck jumping, hood, roof flopping. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen.
We're gonna have to come up with a cheesy move or a chest hopping award or something.
Right.
Cars have been like King Me.
Yeah, exactly.
So do we have an award for the most body panels left or the least amount of body panels left?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing, Rich, that they've been working on in iRacing is the damage models. I don't think that they've really spent a lot of time on the dirt models just yet. Like these cars here, they've done a lot of work with this, so when they crinkle up the car, how it looks. The ARCA Menard cars and the Indy light cars are actually some of the best, and Skip Barbers were the best damage models of showing the damage pieces flying off the car.
Wow.
Okay, so what you're saying is these trucks are built hazard.
Basically.
They're built Ford tough, guys.
Come on.
I think they're built Roush tough.
That's right. We know they got the power. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, it does use a Roush Yates twin turbo V6 3.5 liter engine, so that's pretty cool.
Sure does.
Indeed, it is.
JP, dude, these Nexus trucks that we're racing is 900 horsepower and 16 sequential transmission.
Wow, that's 220 more horsepower than these cars. These cars have 680. That's a lot of horsepower for a truck.
JP, did you just do the math on that?
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
that was easy.
I'm just gonna stop. I did announce you. I think last night, JP, as my possible future boss. I'm not really sure which route you're gonna go, but you could do it. That's for sure.
I hope so.
All right, and there's Paul Darling as he catches up on lap traffic there.
Wow, look at that, guys.
What a great shot.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Paul is across the stripe. I'd assume with about 17 minutes left or so. So I think there's actually going to be 3 laps left versus 2.
There you go. And guys, we're going to mute our booth, and we want you to turn it up and really listen to the sound of these cars. They sound awesome. So we're going to mute our booth real quick and turn it up and enjoy the sound of these 4 GTs. All right, well, we were just trying to get some sound clips there, and unfortunately, I think we put a little bit of pressure on Paul. Mind you guys, he has been driving for 2 hours, 45 minutes, and I mean, this is tough, and this has to be draining. So little errors here and there are gonna happen. Unfortunately, Slavonic had a quick off there, but quickly recovered back on, scrubbed his tires down the straight. Looks like he'll be jumping back on pace here.
Paul did a great job in the sprint race last night, and he joked around with us at the end of the race that his wife keeps him very well fed in order to do these races, and he must have had a delicious meal before this one. 3 hours at the Nurburgring. Oh my gosh!
I can only imagine that his plate was full of just protein, just steaks on steaks on steaks.
He's probably got that fountain drink next to him like a Gatorade box.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I'm thinking something different. I think another recipe for success here would be to go into this race dehydrated so you don't have to get up.
Oh, that's maybe his wife's a nurse, and the good old catheter works.
yeah, Jack is onto something because I had some coffee before my race started, and I barely made it out of that car. Let me tell you.
That's why it took you so long to get to the booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Bring me out of the car and joining you guys. So, yeah.
Going back to what Joey, what you were saying about Paul Darling and Matt Christie, Paul has put in 16 laps and Matt's 4.
Wow.
Hear that, Matt Christie? I'm pretty sure you're watching right now.
Here's the comparison charts, guys. Let's see here. Let's go to last lap. There it is, Slavonic with 8:06 because he had that little hiccup there. Darling with a 7:58. Coming slightly off pace there a little bit of his typical. But still obviously holding on strong.
But 4 laps is still a half an hour.
You're right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, we're looking at just 14 minutes remaining, guys. And a special shout out to everyone watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really enjoy putting on a good show for you guys. So thank you and thank you. Also, I want to know who is a Roush owner. Go ahead and comment in the section below. Let us know what you have in that garage. Or if you have Roush performance parts, maybe it's a cold air intake, exhaust, performance pack, supercharger. We want to hear in the comment section below. We want to give you a special shout out for jumping on Team Roush. I did actually see a hashtag Team Roush from Travis Thomas. Shout out to you, Travis. Hashtag Team Roush. That's what we're all about here. One big team. And that's really where we're at with things. You know, we're get together the right guys and just move forward in this industry. And right now we're doing it on the esports side, all with the help of our supporters from Continental Tire and Haggerty, and of course all of our viewers at home. And if you would, again, just like and share, tell all your friends what's happening over here on the ROUSH Performance Esports page. And it looks like Alex Fafinci has the 2015 Roush Stage 3. And I've seen his car. He keeps that thing in tip-top shape and is bringing that thing to a bunch of shows. So definitely shout out to you, Alex. And then we see Brian Pinter. He's got that jackhammer.
You know, speaking of jackhammers, that was one of the cars that we got to play around with at SEMA.
Oh, hey, real fast.
Oh, no. I don't want to talk about it.
Uh-oh. Harold, can you run back Rob Holland? It looks like he had a little bit of off track there. He's back on. Doesn't look like any damage, though.
He looks
still in third. Still in third.
Still in third, exactly. This is...
It was right here that I actually lost it, so it looks like he lost it just a couple corners before. I think that the racetrack probably doesn't like our car right there, so it's really not either of our fault.
Yeah,
You have it set up.
it's your story. You can tell it any way you want.
But seriously.
Yeah, come on, guys.
No,
it was quite funny. I was watching a show last night. Have you guys caught any of those Lost Speedway shows yet?
Oh man, I just binge watched it like an afternoon. I couldn't get enough of it. Oh my
It's a good format, and they were talking about one of these racetracks and how a driver claimed he saw an alligator after he rode his car into the lake. And the owner's like, "There's no alligators in there. There's nothing, you know." And Dale Jr. comes on and says, "You know, I'm going to side with the driver on this one, because if you're not going to put guardrails at the racetrack, then don't question the driver's story." You know? Well, it's like, yeah, it's fair.
Well, you know, there's Berlin where you can go off into the pond.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we're going to have one more lap. Let's see here. I think who's out front right now? Old Darling still out front?
Yes.
Well, wouldn't it be 3 laps? Or 10 minutes to go?
Yeah, we're following along with JG Passer Jack right now.
I'm showing 3 laps for me.
Okay.
Did anybody else in the booth see the racing highlight of Rob Holland racing a perfect lap on this track?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was completely phenomenal racing. I could tell he's a very good driver, and anything could happen. Like, he could still win this.
It's very true.
Anything can happen. Those that grass reaches out and bites you. Next thing you know, cars are coming by you. And I'll tell you, I mean, with these gaps, I mean, guys, yeah, the recoveries of these, we're looking at from Paul Darling to Paul Slavonic, from first to second, you're looking at a 22-second gap. And then from Paul Darling to Rob Holland, minute 35. So yeah, you wad up a car, your race, you're giving up at this point, fortunately.
Yeah, Joey, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, but last night when I was racing, coming to the end, I was being pressured by Chris Wolfson, and he'd make a push on me, make a mistake, or otherwise have an issue, slow down, fall back. I was just trying to drive very consistently and safely, and as fast as I could without putting it off the track. But at a certain point, when you are coming to the end of a race and you're weighing the risk in front and behind, you have to weigh, how much you push it. And, in some cases, if there's no threats from behind, even just, take it easy. Just make sure you keep that car on the track. Were you thinking about any of that?
Yes. And there's lots of different voices to listen to in your head. And there's lots of voices that the race car is talking to you with, too. And especially here at Nurburgring, first lap, okay? You got good tires, everything's all hunky-dory, you set a great lap. It might not be the fastest lap, but it feels good. Second lap comes around, okay, you're a little bit more comfortable, I can carry a little bit more speed. And then what Jack is saying, by the time you get to the end of the race, is it time to push it? Because you've got all this confidence built up. You've just done 15 laps, you know the racetrack like the back of your hand. Or is it time to say, hey, I've got a 15-second gap. Why don't I just take a breath? But that little voice inside your head says, oh, no, you got this, Just a little bit deeper. You've got the confidence. You've done this 10 laps before. You really have to step outside the race car and think. And that's when having a spotter or a crew chief or somebody that isn't racing is so important. They have more information than you. They can think with a level head. They're not hearing all the different voices. And, there's a lot going on in that race car. Right now, 7 minutes left. If I was Rob Holland, I'd probably be putting it in cruise control mode right now.
Owen told us yesterday that the prevent defect doesn't work.
Well, the other thing is, let's say if you put it in cruise control, now you're not hitting your regular marks. You're not pushing your brain. Your brain is off sync. All of the timing is off sync, so it can actually cause you to do more mistakes, even though you're driving slower.
That's very true. I find that usually on cooldown laps, it can be tough to drive the car, tougher than driving fast.
It's funny, race cars are kind of an odd duckling. If you don't drive them within their performance window, they don't like it. So if you're only pushing a race car at 70%, it's not acting and responding how it should. You have to push it at that 95%, 100%, in order for it to respond and actually talk back to you and do the right stuff.
Yeah, that golden hour is really setting in now and really making this car pop here. Check out this, we're riding alongside Stacy.
It looks like the attendance is pretty good today.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're not within the 6 feet, though.
Germany's on a whole nother set of rules.
It's bobblehead day.
It's outdoors.
Okay.
That's what it is. Yep. All right. Let's give a quick rundown as you guys see here on the left side of your screen. Quick rundown. Paul Darling currently leading, followed by Paul Slavonic, Rob Holland, Stacy Kyle, JG, Pastor Jack, Trenton McMillian, Brian Richardson, Steve Luca, Jordan Musser. There's Jordan currently hitting the pits. What's the status of Jordan here? Is he still in there from the...
I believe I saw they have officially thrown in the e-towel.
Yes, he is no longer there. He pulled it into the garage, and his team stayed at the Chicken Shack. So
apparently, Alfred couldn't fix the Batmobile.
That's a good one. All right, check it out. Back to our leader, Paul Darling, as he hunts down some more lap traffic.
So, Jack, I got a question for you. We've done the mini-series. We've done some all-star races. We've done sprint races, enduros. Gone all over the world with these sim tracks. What's been the most fun track for you to learn? Because I don't think you've driven any of these on the World Tour, right?
That's correct. To be honest, this is, in my mind, the Holy Grail of road courses. This really inspired me to, really get engaged on the World Tour idea. It's arguably the most challenging track to learn, and if you don't know it and you push it, it's going to bite you. It's a track you definitely have to respect, both in how daunting it is to learn, and even if you know it, how easily it can turn on you.
Right. And I think, Jack, we're kind of seeing this here, and you guys kind of were just talking about it. When you put it in cruise control, your pace kind of gets thrown off, your mindset's different, and we're seeing Paul Darling come up on lap traffic behind Trent McMillan, and you're seeing that. He's kind of getting thrown way off pace here. You seen him come through that corner and get real close up on his bumper, and just got pushed way out of that turn. So I think we're seeing that here.
I don't know that that's what's going on. I think he's probably just thinking, well, why push it here?
Right.
If you notice, they're in a part of the track that's corner after corner after corner.
Gotcha.
It's very hard to pass here, and it would be very risky for him to do so. If I were Paul, I'd be doing exactly what he is and just hang out there.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to push it.
Gotcha. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
All right, there it is. Yeah, that definitely makes things exciting.
Right on cue.
Well, I guess the danger there would be, if the lap car makes a mistake, you're so close to him,
Right.
it can end up taking you out.
That's very true.
And yeah, I couldn't imagine the pressure of being lap traffic, having the leader come up on you, which I'm not going to say I haven't felt that before, because I definitely have. It's kind of gets nerve-wracking, and to be honest with you, I've made more mistakes with the leader behind me, because I kind of get locked up and I'm like, where do you want me to go? And especially in a track like this, it's extremely tight, and yeah, you can definitely ruin someone's day pretty quick.
Guys, look at how this sun is getting in.
I know, man. That
It's
just
so neat.
There's some shots here that I just
seriously, I'm super impressed. I mean, they really did their homework on just the lighting on this location is like perfect.
Absolutely. All right, viewers, if you guys have any questions for us in the booth, for anyone, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below, and we'll try to definitely answer that. But we are coming up on, looks like, minute 22 left. Joey, this is going to be final lap next go around for Paul.
Yeah, they're going to get the white flag as soon as they start this last lap here at start finish, and should be rounding up soon after that.
Awesome. Well, guys, again, as we come to the final lap here, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for your continued support on this, and hopefully you'll follow us through the different series that we'll be putting on throughout next year for the 2021 season. And shout out to these drivers out here, from the pro guys to the pro sim guys to first timers. This has been an absolute blast. And hopefully we'll continue to put on a really great show. But until then, Paul Darling, Matt Christie up front here. And Joey, you want to kind of maybe take us through the current standings for the Enduro Series?
Yeah, let me bring that stuff up here.
All right.
Because, everything changes as we go along. But going into this race here, I know that the Grid Life Racers were out front in first place, and that is our current leader with Paul Darling and Matt Christie. Then, probably one of the best racers ever to grace this globe, myself and Rob Holland in second place. And then Jordan Musser, Jeff Altenberg, they're in third place. Ted Lowendick and Stacy Kyle Dunnigan in fourth place. It actually looks like they're going to probably be bumped up to third since Jordan and Jeff have retired. And then rounding out the top five, Brian Richardson and Trevor Owita with Rocky Mountain Racing. I believe that they are still hanging on
currently
back
sixth.
there, aren't they?
Yeah.
So if I was to project, guys, Paul Darling just got to keep it off the guardrail. They should come home champions as long as Rob can keep it together here. Looks like him and myself should come home second place, and then it looks like Ed and Stacy will be taking over third place.
And Joey, what will our friends champions be taking home?
Quite a big box, guys.
Yeah.
So through these great series partners that we've had, we're able to give away tremendous prizes. Haggerty's come on board with giving away an RC N1 sim racing chassis. Guys, this is a really cool chassis. I believe Jack Roush Jr. actually has one of these in his basement that he uses in his simulator, and it is top-notch. Not only do they get a sim chassis, Continental Tire has also stepped up, and they are giving a full set of tires to each champion. That means Paul Darling's going to get a set of tires of his choice, and Matt Christie's going to get a set of tires of his choice. Guys, not done yet. Oprah's coming in here, okay? They're getting podium points. They're getting championship trophies. They're getting signed memorabilia from Roush, okay? This is amazing what we are giving away.
Am I going to sign that?
Some of this action. Well, Trevor,
You said from Roush. I mean, I can say, hey guys, I'm signing autographs after the show. All you got to do is just let me know.
I was just waiting to see what the booth guys get.
So let me tell you, in all of these iRacing meetings, all this back behind the doors scene stuff, Trevor is your local hero. He is on the phone every day. What can we give away? What can we give away? Yeah, let's get everybody involved. Let's get some great interaction going. So honestly, Trevor, thank you for bringing such a positive attitude to this, because I know that these guys love getting tangible stuff.
Oh man, I appreciate it. But no, obviously couldn't do it without the boss saying yes. So and Jack's probably shaking his head right now because you're absolutely right. Just about every meeting, I'm like, how can I spend more money? How can I give away more things? That's my job. That's what I want to do, and that's why we're giving away $250 Visa gift card. Right? No. I'm sorry, Amazon gift card. Let's clarify that. JP is cracking open his piggy bank, and he's going to give you 250 coins, gold coins.
No, but in all reality, guys,
no one's getting my 250 gold coins.
Between these great Continental promotions, Haggerty prizes, Skip Barber coming in, everything that we got going on, if you guys want to come sim racing and get something at the end of the championship, come race with us. That's what we're doing. We put you on the track with real pros. We give you something to chase after that we'll send to you. Just come have a good time with us. Hang out with us.
Heck yeah, man! What this is cool. I'm slightly sad that this series is coming in. Well, I mean, it's so funny because these names were so foreign to me at the beginning, and even in the booth, it's like I didn't know Rich. Now I feel like I'm a good friend to Rich, and Owen Trinkler was on earlier, and it's pretty cool to just see what this esports has done. I mean, we've taken all these drivers from all different platforms and professional drivers and sim racers, gamers, and we brought them to one playing field. And it's so amazing to see the interaction and to see the behind the scenes of these guys talking about setups and just everyone lending a hand and helping. And I think that's a huge point that Team Roush is what we really always pull for, is just bringing people together, having a great time, and putting on a heck of a show. So wow, yeah, it's pretty cool. As we're watching the final lap here, Paul Darling, Grid Life iRacers teammate Matt Christie. As long as he can keep it together, we might be looking at our Enduro Series champions.
It's been such a pleasure commentating with you guys in the booth, and being able to have the opportunity of doing this with you guys.
JP, you man, you obviously, and everyone probably knows this, you have a bright future, man. Anything you do is just top-notch quality, and you make me look bad, so that's good. That's a good thing.
And if you're looking for a film agent, I'm your man.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to figure out how I can sign him. No, but JP, thank you so much for taking your time, and I know there's some late nights here, and you've done a great job jumping in here, so we hope that you're definitely going to come back to the next series and help us.
You know, I'm pretty sure that JP is probably good enough to be in those Pro 4 trucks with us.
I think so. I'm going to agree there.
I think that should happen.
I think so, too. Hey, real quick, guys, where are we at on the track?
Yeah, I should.
We're coming up. We're in the
Coming
mini
up on the
caravan
long-
here, and we're going to be coming up to the last set of sweeping corners right here. It's going to be the last minute of this race.
Awesome.
Yep, coming on that long stretch.
And drivers, if you guys are watching on our Facebook, if you drop it in the comments section, I'll go ahead and read out your shout outs or anything that you want to say. Please do. If you want to jump on the Discord channel after the race, we definitely want to bring you on and tell you thank you. And if you want to give any shout outs to any of your sponsors, supporters, please do. This is our time to kind of give back to you guys. And also, before you sign off tonight, make sure you head over to ROUSHPerformance.com, sign up for that newsletter. $250 Amazon gift card up for grabs, and that'd be a lot of fun on Amazon. So
And also remember, before you leave the stream, remember to hit the like button on the stream, please.
Heck yeah.
It's really been a great opportunity getting to commentate in these races.
There it is. There's the flashing headlights of Paul Darling.
Paul Darling, our World Tour season championship.
There he is. There's our champion of the Enduro Series. Sure is. The Nova Star 4GT, Paul Darling, Matt Christie. Let's see some donuts.
All right.
Throw in the smoke. Come on, keep it going. Keep it going. It's always fun trying to get those cars out of traction control to... There you go. There is our Enduro Series champion of the first ever ROUSH Performance World Tour Series on the ROUSH Performance Esports page, sponsored by Haggerty, Continental Tire, and thank you every driver that participated in this, every viewer out there. There it is, guys. There is the first ROUSH Performance World Tour Series.
And I think if we go over to Paul Slavonic, he might be putting some icing on the cake over there too.
Is he throwing it down? He is. He says, I'm getting in on the action. And Paul, well deserved though too. I mean, just an amazing competitor. He definitely gets the Iron Man award of single-handedly taking on this race. I want to calculate how many turns this guy has gone through. And I mean,
oh boy.
At this point, I would just be absolutely spent. I mean, mentally, physically, that's pretty impressive. Oh, and a little contact there.
Oh,
I think they're
man.
gonna come out of their cars here.
that was a little double whammy.
That sure was. There is the official results sponsored by Haggerty
How about
Motorsports.
just shy of 4,000 turns.
I know, I was just doing the math here.
39.10.
Wow.
Wow. That's incredible.
That is absolutely incredible. Wow. Let's see who is currently on right now. Let's bring
and guys, about 365 plus miles. That he just did.
That is very impressive. Let's go ahead and bring in our Enduro champions of the ROUSH Performance World Tour Series. There they are. There is our champions, Matt, Paul. Holy cow. We just actually calculated it together. How many turns did you guys take on?
3,910.
Can you believe that? Does it feel like it?
A lot. That's a lot, yeah. They fly by really quick.
All right, well, guys, walk us through. I mean, first off, you guys have pretty much you pitched 10 up on the podium, and you've stayed here through both the Sprint and Enduro series. Your names are always at the top. You guys are amazing competitors, really fun to watch, extremely entertaining. Matt, we see you putting down these world record times at multiple tracks. Paul going out here, just you get faster and faster. We're all blown away as you get fast lap, and the next thing you know, you shave off another 2 seconds. It's like, where are you finding this? You guys are extremely talented. Why don't you walk us through this final race here?
Well, for this race, we wanted to make it 3 wins in a row. That was the goal coming in. We knew we had the points locked up. So coming in, we're gonna just let Paul get a big lead like normal, and I would get in and run a few laps, have a good time, hopefully keep it off the walls, which I did. And then let Paul get back in the car. I know I didn't do as many laps as some other people did. I don't have the experience, and we wanted to get the win, so we just went with the best strategy. And yeah, with the world record times and stuff, that's fun. And being new to iRacing, it's one thing to go out by yourself and do fast laps. It's another thing to do it over and over again like Paul does. So the last 6 months I've learned a ton, and I'm not sure that I would be half as good as I am right now without his help. So thanks a lot, Paul, number one. But yeah, he took the load here. So go ahead and tell him how you did it, buddy.
I mean, it's been a really great season running with Matt. Hopefully I've been able to help get Matt faster since he's been a newer guy to the sim racing scene. But it was a fantastic season. Matt kept it clean the entire season, I think. I don't think we had any major incidents, so it's just a really, really great to run with Matt this whole season, and glad we could come out on top in the last race.
Yeah, I didn't crash. The only time I ever crashed was running into other people that had crashed in front of me in the endurance series. Sprint series is a totally different story. I don't know if JP's still in the chat. I don't know if he saw the comment that I put on the video about being on the roof. Did you see how I ended my race last night? I was on my roof. Do you know whose face was on the roof of my car?
Whose?
Your grandpapa. Yeah, yeah. Jack Rouse Sr.'s face was on the top of the car, and I was on the roof. So,
oh man,
I'm so sorry. so sorry.
Well, you jinxed yourself when you wrote that comment on my stop motion.
Exactly. No, it was all set in motion. It was all set in motion. But no, that was an awesome job by that on that video. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
Absolutely, and guys,
thanks, Matt. You've done a really good job racing today.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And so have you, Paul.
Thank you.
Jack, any words for these guys?
Thanks for being part of it, man. It was great watching you guys race. Really impressed with the talent of both of you guys, and again, thank you.
And what we want to know, will this talent roll over to dirt?
It's not my cup of tea. So.
Well, you better start learning, because our next series starting in January, we're actually going over to the Pro 4 off-road trucks. And we're going to do a quick 3-race series. They're all going to be quick sprint races, but I think about 30 minutes in length. We're still trying to iron all that out, but we hope that we can get you guys over there, because one, you guys put on a heck of a show, and I'm sure you'll be just as great over there. So hopefully you guys can join us.
Hey, Matt, if I can get on a road course, you can get out in the mud.
No, I'm sure I can, but I do really want to get a lot better with the road stuff, and still being new to this and liking the competition. I would like to be able to come back the next time you guys have this series or another road series where there's going to be far more competition, far better competition, and I want to actually be able to be a part of it, not be on the outside looking in like I typically do as a ROUSH fan. So this has been a great opportunity to be a part of it, and to finish on top in one of the series is awesome. So thank you guys so much for the awesome broadcast and all the sponsors, and you guys are terrific. So thanks again.
No, yeah, and with that, Matt and Paul, you guys better make some room, because Continental Tire will be sending you guys a set of tires, and Haggerty will be sending you that R-Seat N1 sim chassis, and then you need to make some room on the shelf, and be receiving your championship trophy for the Enduro Series of the ROUSH Performance World Tour Series. So congratulations to you guys, and I'll go ahead and let you guys give a little bit of shout out to who, and then we'll kick you guys out of here and go get ready for the next series.
Yeah, thanks for racing with us, Matt and Paul. It was a pleasure commentating and watching you guys race.
Thank you, JP. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Novastar Solutions, and then of course Paul for being an awesome first-time partner doing this type of thing, and then of course again, like I said, to you guys and all the sponsors, Haggerty, and is an awesome company, and I use their insurance all the time. Continental, I've never used their tires before, but I look forward to using them here soon in the future. So thanks again.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Matt.
and thank you very much. Just got a shout out to my team sponsor, DTR Simulators, but I really appreciate ROUSH for putting this on and putting the sponsor and the sponsors getting their name out there, Haggerty and Continental. But so thanks a ton.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Matt. You guys have a great night.
See you guys. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye, guys.
All righty. Let's see here.
All right.
Who do we pull in now?
Brought Ted Lowendick into
Ted. What is going on, Ted?
Doing all right. How are you guys? Great broadcast again.
No, not bad on your end. You guys ended up with a fourth place finish with your co-driver Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy did a really good job of not crashing after I told him not to. But yeah, Paul was a class of the field again. There's no shock there. He competes in another series that I compete in, and thankfully he's in a faster class of car because we don't have to deal with him then. But yeah, no, the series has been fun. Stacy did well tonight. I hit the wall a couple times and kind of put us behind, but yeah, it's been a fun time. So thank you, and thank you to Haggerty and Continental and ROUSH for everything.
No, we appreciate you, and we appreciate all the, I mean, you guys literally lay it all out there and put on a heck of a show for us. So thank you for joining us, and we hope that you join us for the next series. We're actually going to the dirt in January with the Pro 4 Off-Road Truck Series. We're going to do 3 races, and we hope that you can join us.
I'll try to. I don't own the car, but it does sound like it'll be fun. So, and if you guys are the broadcast team, then I will definitely look into that.
There you go. It'll be us. Same old ugly bunch.
Yep, same ugly bunch, except for I'm actually going to get in there and try to mix it up with you guys. So you guys look like you're having too much fun, and with the mud being out there to sling around, I think I'll try to put a Raptor underneath me and see what we can put it out.
There you go. Ted, you got any shout-outs?
I just want to say thank you to all my teammates. Again, thanks to ROUSH for putting us on. It was fun. I did the sprint series before the last season, and really enjoyed it. So the endurance series was a nice change of pace, and look forward to what you guys bring in the future.
Sounds good. Thanks, Ted. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
All right, and the Iron Man, Paul Slavonic. Holy cow, Paul. First off, let's tell this guy how many turns he did tonight. Unless, Paul, do you know?
I want to guess about, I don't know, 23 million?
It probably felt like it, huh?
No, Paul, I think you did over 360 miles and just about, 4,000 turns, something like that?
You know,
oh my gosh.
Official turns 3,910, but we saw some extracurricular turns in there throughout the race, so we'll give you the 4K.
Yeah, I'll take that. I know there were a few loops in there I probably shouldn't have made, but all things considered, I'm just fortunate to have been able to bring it home. But I mean, it looked like I had a good strategy in place. I was really kind of banking on making the top guys kind of play to my strategy by not taking tires. I thought that'd be a good risk to take. And maybe if I hadn't crashed, it would have ended a little bit differently. But all things considered, I'm pretty happy with coming home in second.
Yeah, and that was on a single set of tires. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did make the mistake of forgetting to uncheck the tires when I was in the pit. So it did bring me up, and it replaced the right front. And then I unchecked them all, and then of course that was a pretty stupid mistake, because as soon as I got out, having one new tire and then a set of 2-stent old tires, they didn't really mesh well at first. So if you saw a nice little loop-de-loop I did as soon as I got out of the pits, that was me. That was because of that.
Oh, man. Well, let me just tell you, Paul, you have put on a heck of a show through this entire series. And, I mean, we couldn't ask for a better participant and driver to really go out there and put on a good show. Class act, and you're just a joy to watch. So thank you so much for hanging out with the entire ROUSH Performance team through this.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I mean, this has been a lot of fun, and unexpected challenges like this was I think unexpected is the best way to describe it. I definitely was not planning on doing all that tonight, but props to you guys for hosting an awesome series. It's got really good, clean racing, a lot of good competitors in here, and looking forward to slinging some dirt with you guys next season. Hopefully we can have it. Let's have a 3-hour dirt race.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Paul, something that we said in the broadcast, not 3 hours, but we're planning to put 40 trucks on Crandon in these off-road tracks. So it's going to be a packed house for sure.
40 trucks in 3 hours. It has to happen.
Better pack those visor tear-offs.
Oh, man, that's going to be intense. Well, Paul, go ahead and drop any shout-outs that you have.
Oh, at this point, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. So thank you, Jesus.
And what did your wife feed you tonight? That's what we want to know, because I know you thanked her on the last one. What did you eat to stay alive for this entire endurance?
Oh, it's going to sound ridiculous. I actually cooked tonight, and it was just like hot dogs with mac and cheese. So.
Is that it's the mac and cheese, favorite. JP?
Honestly, I've got like a thing of coconut water here. That's like my secret remedy, because obviously that's not the most hydration-wise food to eat before you do a 3-hour race. So coconut water is my secret.
There it is, guys. The secret to running quick and staying out there on the endurance, coconut water. Well, thank you so much, Paul, and we cannot wait to see you for a future series.
Thank you, guys. I'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks, Paul. All righty. Do we have anyone else joining us in the booth, or is that going to be it? I think that might be it, guys. Well, I just want to say thank you. Wow is absolutely right. What it's absolutely amazing to be able to see what we've done in a single season. And it's truly, it's funny because like people are always like, oh, thank the fans. No, it's literally about you guys. You're the reason that we've been able to continue to do this and grow. I think Jack and I, we're pulling some numbers together, and just on Facebook, we've reached over 5.2 million people through this broadcast, throughout our events. As I think we said earlier, 21 events, and we've been streaming for more than a day. If we were to put all our streams together, we're at a day and now probably one day 4 hours, one day 5 hours, somewhere around there. So I have to give a huge shout out Harold Darner for all the support and help, the behind the scenes guy that obviously you don't get the glory of spinning donuts out there, but maybe you will next series. But shout out to you, Harold, Joey Atterbury, for bugging me all the time with phone calls and getting things moving and going. But truly amazing. And Rich hanging out in the booth with us, hearing your input is great. And obviously coming from the sports car world, you just have a great input on this series, and you're just a blast to hang around. And of course, Jack Roush Jr. for letting this all happen. It's pretty, there's not many bosses out there that you can go to and he says, hey, I got a really cool plan. And next thing you know, we're iRacing and putting on this awesome show. And then of course, JP for always, JP's always, I don't know. He makes me want to go back to school. He's terribly smart at the age he is, but JP extremely talented, and it's been an absolute joy to hang out with everyone in the booth. So thank you guys.
No, Trevor. Yeah, thank you, Jack. This has been about 6 months going now. Didn't we start this all up in April, and it's continued to build momentum. We got bigger and better stuff around the corner. So stay in touch, guys. Keep watching, keep following. We're not done racing. We're not done sim racing. So stick around. It's only getting better.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there's gonna if you're not already following our page, make sure you follow our ROUSH Performance Esports page. If you're watching on the ROUSH Performance side, head over to ROUSH Performance Esports, give that one a follow, and it'll actually notify you each time that we post something or go live. And I definitely see some live events in between our actual series of even just jumping on and seeing practice sessions with possibly like Joey and Jack and just a variation of people. So make sure you're following along.
Yeah, guys, if I could, I just want to say, just the ROUSH, Team ROUSH, you guys put together one hell of a series, and you guys have really built a community, and it's been fun to sit and watch this thing grow. You guys do a really good job.
Appreciate that, Rich. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being part of it, man.
Well, like you were
My
saying there,
pleasure.
Trevor, the whole idea about the practices, that just let all our people out there in iRacing know we don't put password protections on them. You can come on right on in. Just jump in. You see ROUSH and jump on in with us. And if you don't have a setup, Joey usually puts one out there. And I'm sure if you ask, somebody will share it. It's not like some of the series out there where people are hoarding out their setups. So come on out, play with us, have some fun. Don't worry about balling up the car. You got the Haggerty insurance built into iRacing.
There you go. All right, Jack, you want to take us away?
I think what you guys have said is perfect. Just very grateful that all you guys have been involved with helping to run this thing, and the participants and fans out there. Thank all of you. And there's a lot more to come. We got a lot of cool stuff in the fire, and stay tuned.
That's right. Well, guys, thank you. And we appreciate you guys watching the final race of the ROUSH Performance World Tour Series. Onto the dirt, January 2021. Crazy to say that. Let's get 2020 behind us, get into a new year, get dirty in the dirt, starting off, and we will see you guys next time.